Hello, we're back. I wasn't planning to play it today, but I was like, you know what? This is what we're doing today. I keep really messing up my time on what I'm doing though these days. I mean, there's been so many days in a row that I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like not doing anything. We'll see. But I mean, at least 2 hour stream today, but like, yeah, as usual, I wanted to do a 5 hour stream. I can't even tell you what I did in the last 2 hours. It felt like I wasn't doing anything, but I thought I was doing something, but I don't know now. Like, just zoning out or something. I don't know. But we'll at least finish day 3 for sure. I don't know how long day 4 is. I feel like I'd finish it. I think I know at least one big thing that happens, I think. But I think that's all I know for sure, so we'll see. Let me see something. And of course I get a text now. Okay. The chapel is large and majestic. It must see many visitors during the day based on the number of pews in the chapel. The priest must have incredible authority if he's responsible for a church as grand as this one. I would not say it's very grand, by the way. I would in fact say this is a very small church, but whatever. It is a Catholic church too. It's like, yeah. They don't get smaller than this one unless you're like really, well, I don't know. You basically have to be a roadside stop in the middle of farm country. Tosaka, what kind of man is this priest here?
どんな人かって説明するのは難しいわね。10年来の知人だけど、私だって未だにあいつの性格はつかめないもの。
Known him for over a decade. That's a long time to know someone. Are you two related or something?
親戚じゃないけど、私の後見人よ。ついでに言うと、兄弟子にして第二の師っていうところ。
Senior disciple as a mage?
そうだけど、なんで驚くのよ、そこで。
He's a priest, right? Aren't priests forbidden from using magecraft? This is really interesting that Shiro believes this. I thought it was more of the other way around, that mages believed. Wait. No, maybe I'm wrong. You know what? I think it's just that when I first watched the anime, Shiro saying this makes me think church people normally don't use magecraft. I think it's just that Shiro like manipulated me into thinking it's normal to think the church doesn't use magic. But then it's like, wait, no, that's not true at all. Everybody in this universe knows that's not true. Only Shiro thought that. And it's even weirder because Kiritsugu definitely wouldn't have taught him that. So like, wait, what? Mages and churches have never mixed well. Sure, but that has more to do with like how magecraft should be used in the world, basically. Mages belong to a large organization called the Mages Association, but there is also a hidden group operating in the shadows of the most widespread religion. Not one normal people would ever hear about or want to get involved with. Known as the Catholic Church. I'm tired of them avoiding the word Catholic. It's really weird. Like, they'll say the Holy See. They'll say the Holy Church. But they won't say the Catholic Church. I think they even say Vatican sometimes, though. So I don't know. It's really weird. The two have nothing in common. I mean, they're both organizations that oversee magic in the world to some extent. So they may have a sort of surface alliance, but they're constantly trying to kill each other given half a chance. I don't think that's true. The church loathes heretics. They are out to eliminate anything inhuman in the world, including users of magecraft. I guess that's true. But as far as I'm aware, I've never heard of the church going after a mage or the clock tower unprovoked. So they don't just say, it's a mage, kill him. Like, nah, not exactly. I mean, there's a little more to it. It's especially funny because Tsukihime implies completely differently. But in that, there's vampires. So it's like, well, yeah, you gotta kill the vampires. That's what the church is all about. Probably more than anything else. But since the vampires aren't really a thing in the Fate Stay Night universe, that's not a plot point. So then it's like, well, wait, what does the church do? And that's the problem, I think. Because I can't tell you what the church really does in the Fate Stay Night universe. Or even, the Fate universe, really. They can be a bit busybodies, and they kind of like watch over the Holy Grail Wars. But beyond that, I can't tell you what they actually do, really. It's kind of weird. But because, like, in Tsukihime, they were all about killing vampires. That's the number one thing they did. In the church's eyes, only saints are permitted to perform miracles. All other human miracles are heresy. I mean, magecraft isn't really a miracle, though, is it? There are no exceptions, even for those within the church. The higher the position one is in within the church, the more they are forbidden from the impurity of magecraft. This is extremely funny, though. Like, maybe within, like, the surface level of the church, like the part of the church that everybody sees, but, like, from what I remember, well, no, I don't know, because, like, I know at least one cardinal who is very adept at magecraft, so I think it's just on the surface level they say magecraft is impure and stuff, but on the deeper level of the church, you do have to have magecraft to be a high level position within the church, like in the shadow part of the church or whatever. But I don't know, it's weird. It's weird because also holy power, I think, is real in this universe. It's a little weird. Like, they actually have holy weapons, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's really weird. Like, how does holy energy work within magecraft? Never explained as far as I'm aware. Like, in Fate Grand Order, they'll be like, this person has some weird power related to some sort of very popular religion. And it's like, do you mean holy energy? Like the Catholic Church has holy power? Like, no. It goes without saying that the more blessings someone receives from God, especially someone who is in charge of a church like this, the further the distance they should take from magecraft. What if the blessings from God is magecraft? Actually, I didn't know the priest here was on our side.
聖杯戦争の監督役を任されたやつだもの。バリッバリの大公社よ。まあ、最も神のご加護があるかどうかは疑問だけど。
What do they mean, blessings from God? I don't know what that means. Tosaka's footsteps echo as she walks toward the altar. I'm not sure whether you're supposed to be walking around here without a priest, but it is pretty late. The priest wouldn't be in the chapel at this hour. I guess he'd be in his private room out back. Huh? So what's the priest's name? I think you said Kotomine or something earlier?
名前は琴峰綺麗。父さんの教え子でね。もう10年以上顔を合わせてる腐れ縁よ。まあ、できれば知り合いたくなかったけど。
I don't think that was ever properly explained. Not fully. Like, how is it that the Tosaka family were learning magecraft from a Catholic priest or cardinal, one or the other, or archdiocese, I don't know. And Kirei was learning alongside Tosaka, the future head of the Tosakas, I guess. That doesn't make sense. Unless Tosaka's father? I never hear about Tosaka's father. Not this Tosaka, sorry. Rin's grandpa. I never hear about him, ever. I don't know, maybe he died, and then he was like, well, I need to learn magecraft. And maybe he at least got the the family crest. But maybe he didn't know Magecraft. Maybe I don't know.
同感だ。私も死を敬わぬ弟子など持ちたくはなかった。
Tap tap. I hear footsteps. A man slowly emerges from the far side of the altar. He must have noticed when we entered the chapel.
再三の呼び出しにも応じぬと思えば、変わった客を連れてきた。彼が7人目というわけか、リン。
そう。一応魔術師だけど、中身は点で素人だから見てられなくって。確かマスターになった者はここに届けを出すのが決まりだったわよね。あんたたちが勝手に決めたルールだけど、今回は守ってあげる。
それは結構。なるほど。ではその少年には感謝しなくてはな。
Oh, I thought he was going to say shonen. If he did say it, then it was very, very quick. Priest slowly looks me over. I unconsciously step back. I'm not afraid, and I don't sense any hostility from this priest. The way he carries himself, he just gives off this indescribable aura of intimidation.
私はこの教会を任されている。琴峰綺麗というものだが、君の名は何というのかな。7人目のマスターよ。
Shiro Emiya, but I don't remember signing up to be a master. I brace myself, glaring at the priest so as not to buckle under that intimidating presence.
エミヤ、シロ。
Huh? That intimidating aura grows chilly. Priest smiles, as if pleased. That smile of his, I can't explain it, but it makes me...
礼を言う、エミヤ。よくリンを連れてきてくれた。君がいなければあれは最後までここには訪れなかったろう。
The priest makes his way to the altar. Tosaka, on the other hand, just looks bored as she moves away from the altar, comes to stand next to me.
では始めよう。エミヤ・シロ。君はセイバーのマスターで間違いはないか？
It's not entirely true. I did form a contract with Saber, but I have no idea what the hell Masters in Holy Grail Wars are. If proper mages are the only ones who can be masters, then you should pick a different master.
なるほど。これは重症だ。彼は本当に何も知らないのか、リン。
だから素人だって言ったじゃない。そのあたりからしつけてあげて。そういう追い込み得意でしょ、あんた。
Tosaka practically pawns me off on the priest, still looking bored.
ほう。これはそういうことか。よかろう。お前が私を頼ったのはこれが初めてだ。エミやシローには感謝をしてもしたりないな。
The more I hear them talk, the more uneasy I get.
まず君の勘違いを正そう。いいか、エミやシロー。マスターというものは他人に譲れるものではないし、なってしまった以上やめられるものでもない。
I mean, you can quit. Technically, you could give your command spells to somebody else. I just want to say that. I'm just saying.
その腕に霊樹を刻まれた者は、たとえ何者であろうとマスターを辞めることはできん。
That's not
まず
true.
はその事実を受け入れろ。
No, you can straight up give your command spells to I think any mage. I think. I can't quit. Why not?
霊樹とは聖魂でもある。マスターとは与えられた試練だ。都合が悪いからといって放棄することはできん。その痛みからは聖杯を手に入れるまでは解放されない。
And that's also not true.
お前がマスターを辞めたいというのであれば、聖杯を手に入れ、 己が望みを叶えるより他はあるまい。そうなれば何もかもが元通りだぞエミヤシロ。お前の望み、その内に溜まった泥を全てかき出すこともできる。そうだ、初めからやり直すこととて可能だろうよ。
Wow. That's quite a mention. Like, wow, really? We're mentioning this already. I'm nowhere. Obviously, I'm supposed to just not know what impure mud means. Maybe it's just supposed to be like a priest saying, "You're impure," you know? I think that's what they're trying to imply. But like, no, I know what that is. I know what mud he's talking about. Interesting.
故に望むがいい。もしその時が来るのなら、君はマスターに選ばれた幸運に感謝するのだからな。その目に見えぬ火傷の跡を消したいのならば、聖婚を受け入れるだけでいい。
What? I feel faint. The priest's words don't make any sense. The more I listen, the more I'm confused. Yet his words permeate in my mind, staining me like blood.
キレ、回りくどい真似はしないで。私は彼にルールを説明してあげてって言ったのよ。誰も傷を開けなんて言ってない。
Her voice interrupts the priest's words. Tosaka? My confused mind snaps back.
そうか。こういった手合いには何を言っても無駄だからな。せめて勘違いしたまま道徳を拭い去ってやろうと思ったのだが。情けは人のためならずとはよく言ったものだ。つい私自身も楽しんでしまった。
As far as we know, even Rin doesn't know what he's talking about, by the way, so that's weird.
何よ、彼を助けるといいことあるっていうの、あんたに。
I mean, Rin doesn't even know that he was in the previous Holy Grail War. Spoilers. But yeah, she doesn't know anything about him, as far as I'm aware. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she is aware. I don't know. I don't think so. No, maybe she is aware. Okay, yeah, maybe she is aware.
あるとも。人を助けるということはいずれ自身を救うということだからな。と今さらお前に説いても始まるまい。では本題に戻ろうか。エミヤシロ、君が巻き込まれたこの戦いは聖杯戦争と呼ばれるものだ。7人のマスターが7人のサーバントを用いて繰り広げる争奪戦ということぐらいはリンから聞いているか。
Yeah, she did. She told me about the whole ridiculous thing where seven masters participate in a battle to the death.
そうだ。だが我らとて好きでこのような非道を行っているわけではない。
I assume we're going to talk about the classes here.
すべてが聖杯を得るにふさわしいものを選抜するための儀式だ。何しろ物が物だからな。所有者の選定にはいくつかの試練が必要だ。
The hell with trials. I bet this priest doesn't think of the Holy Grail War as a trial at all. No, actually, this is what he thinks of it as, actually. It's the opposite. That he thinks of it as a trial. Everybody else just thinks of it as a ritual to create the item. Nothing more. Wait, you keep saying Holy Grail. What even is that? You don't mean the actual Holy Grail, right? The Holy Grail. Goblet said to have received the blood of Jesus. I don't think that the Holy Grail is supposed to be implied to be have received the blood of a saint, of any saint. It's only Jesus, as far as I'm aware. I think it's literally supposed to be the goblet at the Last Supper. Saint. It is considered to be one of the greatest sacred relics of all time, said to perform a variety of miracles. One of the most widely held beliefs is that whoever holds the Holy Grail can possess the entire world. But that seems kind of unlikely since the Holy Grail itself probably doesn't even exist. Stories of a Holy Grail that can grant any wish appear in numerous myths and legends around the world. But that's about it. A mythical power that none claim has ever actually existed or been replicated. That is the Holy Grail. So what is it, Kyrie Kotomine? Is the Holy Grail you speak of really the Holy Grail?
もちろんだとも。この町に現れる聖杯は本物だ。その証拠の一つとして、サーバントなどという法外な奇跡が起きているだろう。
Well, that's weird that he said that, since this is not true. Everybody else says it's not true from now on. Only he says that it's real right here. But maybe it's just a translation error. Maybe what he meant was, is the Holy Grail real? Not is it the real Holy Grail? Right? Like, is the Holy Grail like actually gonna appear? Not is this the one true legendary Holy Grail? Which, the question he asked, right, that we saw was, is this the one true Holy Grail? But what he meant, what the translation should have been was, will the Holy Grail really appear if we actually do this? And so he's like, no, yeah, it will appear.
過去の英霊を呼び出し刺激する。いいな。すでに死者の蘇生に近いこの奇跡は魔法と言える。これだけの力を持つ聖杯ならば、持ち主に無限の力を与えよう。物の心眼など、その事実の前には無価値だ。
So what he's saying is that as long as the object possesses power that surpasses the real thing, it doesn't matter whether it's real or fake. I mean, if you're creating a new cup, then it's not the real Holy Grail. The real Holy Grail would be a physical item that disappear or reappear depending on if magic is in it or something. Fine, let's assume it's really a Holy Grail. Then why would something like the Holy Grail War need to happen? If the Holy Grail exists, we shouldn't be killing each other over it. Something so amazing should be shared.
もっともな意見だが、そんな自由は我々にはない。聖杯を手にする者はただ一人。それは私たちが決めたのではなく、聖杯自体が決めたことだ。7人のマスターを選ぶのも、7人のサーバントを呼び出すのも、すべては聖杯自体が行うこと。これは儀式だと言っただろう。聖杯は自らを持つ
He didn't say it was a ritual, he said it was a trial. There's a difference.
彼らを競わせて、ただ一人の持ち主を選定する。それが聖杯戦争。聖杯に選ばれ、手に入れるために殺し合う恒例儀式というわけだ。
That's funny. A necromantic ritual. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that makes sense. He's so matter-of-fact about it all. I have no response, so I just stare at my left hand. There's an inscription on my hand, a mark that these two call a command spell. As long as I have this mark, I'm told I can't quit being a master. He said an inscription on his hand. But I think the inscription he means... Inscription should be like words that you read. I think he just means the symbols of the command spells. The writing, the symbols of the command spells. That's all. It's not an inscription. That sort of doesn't make sense. Just because only one person can be selected, there's no reason for all the other masters to die.
ちょっと待って。殺すしかないっていうのは誤解よ、ヘミヤ君。別にマスターを殺す必要はないんだから。
Huh? But you said it's bow to the death. Even Kotomine said that.
殺し合いだ。
キレイは黙ってて。この町に伝わる聖杯っていうのは霊体なの。だから物としてあるわけじゃなくて、特別な儀式で呼び出す。つまり降霊するしかないってわけ。で、呼び出すことは私たち魔術師だけでもできるんだけど、これが霊体である以上、私たちには触れられない。この意味わかる？
I'd just like to mention that based on my memory, I believe 4 masters always die in this Holy Grail War. And 3 masters... Yeah, 3 masters always live. I mean, there's a bit of an exception, but I believe that's basically the case. That's kind of funny. I think every single route, 4 masters die. That's so weird. And I think it's the same 4 masters every time, as far as I remember. That's really weird to think about. Never thought about that. Like, it's the same results every time, basically, but obviously some major differences still. I do. Only spirit forms can touch other spirit forms. Oh, so that's why you need servants.
そういうこと。ぶっちゃけた話、聖杯戦争っていうのは自分のサーバント以外のサーバントを撤去させるってことよ。だからマスターを殺さなければならないという決まりはないの。
Why didn't they tell me that earlier? Honestly, Tosaka and that priest both are pretty wicked. But that's a relief. It means Tosaka won't have to die, even if I do join the Holy Grail War.
なるほど。そういう考えもできるか。ではエミヤシロ、一つ尋ねるが、君は自分のサーバントを倒せると思うか？
Defeat Saber? Of course not. Besides, Magecraft is useless against her, and she's insanely strong with her sword.
ではもう一つ尋ねよう。つまらぬ問いだが、君は自分がサーバントより優れていると思えるか？
What? Why the hell is he asking this? I can't beat Saber, so there's no way I'm better than her. My answer to both those questions is that I'm weaker than my servant. Oh.
そういうことだ。サーバントはサーバントをもってしても破りがたい。ならばどうするか。そら、実に単純な話だろう。サーバントはマスターがいなければ存在できん。いかにサーバントが強力であろうと、マスターが潰されれば、そのサーバントも消滅する。ならば。
Now I get it. Nobody would make things harder for themselves. If someone wanted to make sure they won, killing the masters would be the much easier path. Yeah, I get it now. It's easier to defeat the master than the servant. Let me ask you this then. If the servant is defeated first, is their master no longer a master? If servants are the only ones who can touch the Holy Grail, then a master who lost their servant becomes obsolete, right?
いや、霊樹がある限りマスターの権利は残る。マスターとはサーバントと契約できる魔術師のことだ。霊樹があるうちはいくらでもサーバントと契約できる。マスターを失ったサーバントはすぐに消えるわけではない。彼らは体内の魔力が尽きるまでは現世にとどまれる。そういったマスターを失ったサーバントがいれば、サーバントを失ったマスターとて再契約が可能となる。戦線復帰ができるというわけだ。
This ends up only being barely relevant.
だからこそ、マスターはマスターを殺すのだ。下手に生かしておけば、新たな障害になる可能性があるからな。
Then what if you use up your command spells? That means you can't form another contract with another servant, and the servant who gets freed will pair up with another master?
待って、それは。
それはその通りだ。霊樹さえ使い切ってしまえば、マスターの責務からは解放されるが。もっとも、強力な魔術を行える霊樹を無駄に使う。などという魔術師がいるとは思えないが。
I guess I didn't think about it, but like, okay, so technically, if you have no, well, that's a little contradicting. I don't know. So technically, they're saying that if you don't have any command spells at all, you use all 3, then you can't be the master of any servant, even the one that you already contracted. That's what they're saying. I mean, I don't know if I believe that one though. And then it's even weirder because in Fate Grand Order, they basically contradict this. But Fate Grand Order situation is very different, to be fair. But I can't really think of a time when anybody uses their command spells like crazy. Like, you know, uses them all up and then their servant's still alive. Unless, like, their servant is literally dying and then they use all their command spells. I think I maybe have seen that once or twice, but you know, at that point doesn't matter that they used all their spells up technically because the servant ends up dying anyway in those situations.
いたとしたら、そいつは半人前どころか、ただのふぬけということだろう。
The priest laughs as if he can see right through me. This is starting to get to me. The priest's tone is provoking.
納得がいったか。ならばルールの説明はここまでだ。さて、それでは初めに戻ろうエミヤシロ。君はマスターになったつもりはないと言ったが、それは今でも同じなのか。マスターを放棄するというのならそれもよかろう。君が今考えた通り、レイジを使い切ってセーバーとの契約を立てばよい。その場合、聖杯戦争が終わるまで、君の安全は私が保証する。
What? Hold on a minute. Why the hell would you need to guarantee my safety? I can protect myself.
私とて、お前に構うほど暇ではない。だがこれも決まりでな。
He does have the time, by the way, to look after you. Like, that's literally his job. In fact, that's kind of literally his only job. It's weird to say, like, oh, I can't look after you. I'm busy doing something else. Like, no, you aren't. You're not doing anything else.
私は繰り返される聖杯戦争を監督するために派遣された。故に、聖杯戦争による犠牲は最小限にとどめなくてはならないのだ。マスターで亡くなった魔術師を保護するのは、監督役として最優先事項なのだよ。
Did you say repeating Holy Grail War? Hold on a minute. It repeats? Did that mean a battle like this happened before? What the hell do you mean? Are you saying this isn't the first Holy Grail War?
無論だ。でなければ監督役などというものが派遣されると思うか。この教会は聖遺物を回収する任を帯びる特務局の末端でな。本来は聖十字の調査、回収を旨とするが、ここでは聖杯の査定の任を帯びている。
I wasn't aware of covering the True Cross. That's news to me. I don't think that ever really comes up again.
極東の地に観測された第726聖杯を調査し、これが正しいものであるのなら回収し、そうでなければ否定しろとな。
What's this mean? I don't understand. Our job is to investigate the 726 Holy Grail that was detected in the Far East. So the idea is, in all of history, since Jesus, I guess, there has been 726 Holy Grails? Or things that could have been Holy Grails, or like either looked like Holy Grails, could have been Holy Grails in some way, or something like that, I guess. 726? Are there really that many Holy Grails?
さあ、少なくともらしきものならばそれだけの数があったということ。
I feel like Fate Grand Order kind of touches on this part specifically. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that before. They definitely cut that from the anime because that's actually kind of confusing. It's like, what? Huh?
そしてその中の一つがこの町で観測される聖杯であり、聖杯戦争だ。記録では200年ほど前が一度目の戦いになっている。
Oh, that is right. Oh, he actually says that here.
以後、約50年周期でマスターたちの戦いは繰り返さ
Well,
れ
that's
ている。
not true at all. 70 or so ish. 60, 70.
聖杯戦争はこれで5度目。前回が10年前であるから、今までで最短のサイクルということになるが。
What? Are you all insane? You guys have done this 4 times already?
全く同感だ。お前の言う通り、連中はこんなことを何度も繰り返してきたのだよ。そう、過去繰り返された聖杯戦争は、ことごとく苛烈を極めてきた。マスターたちは斧が欲望に突き動かされ、魔術師としての教えを忘れ、ただ無差別に殺し合いを行った。 君も知っていると思うが、魔術師にとって魔術を一般社会で使用することは第一の罪悪だ。魔術師は斧が正体を人々に知られてはならないのだからな。だが過去のマスターたちはそれを破った。魔術協会は彼らを戒めるために監督役を派遣したが、それが間に合ったのは3度目の聖杯戦争でな。その時に派遣されたのが私の父というわけだが、納得がいったか、少年。
I'm getting a little bit of a flashback. Yeah, I believe I do recall that the Tosaka, who was alive in the 1940s, made some sort of deal with his father, basically. This won't end up being relevant in this game. It was relevant in Fate Zero. But otherwise, you won't really learn about Kirei's father here, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I get that an overseer is needed. But based on what you just said, this Holy Grail War is fundamentally a bad thing, right? Previous masters willingly broke the laws of mages, right? Then let's say the Holy Grail is real. What if whoever survives and wins is selfish and uses the Holy Grail for their own selfish purposes? Wouldn't it be pretty bad if the Holy Grail went to someone who has no problem killing people? If the association's job is to supervise mages, shouldn't you be the one punishing those types of folks? I'm hoping to finally confuse him with this question. Won't confuse him at all. But as I figured, Kodamine just laughs condescendingly. To be fair, he knows the results of every single Holy Grail War. He knows what happened. He knows the possibilities, let's just say.
まさか私利私欲で動かぬ魔術師などおるまい。我々が管理するのは聖杯戦争の決まりだけだ。その後のことなど知らん。どのような人格が聖杯を手に入れようが、教会は関与しない。
Well, the association doesn't intervene, but the church implied that they were checking to see if it was an authentic or fake grail, and that they'd take it if it was a real grail, and if it was fake, I thought the implication was that they would actually destroy it. I forget what the word was that he used. But that's absurd. What happens if the Holy Grail is obtained by a master who's absolutely the worst?
困るな。だが、私たちではどうしようもない。持ち主を選ぶのは聖杯だ。そして聖杯に選ばれたマスターを止める力など、私たちにはない。何しろ望みを叶える暁だ。手に入れたものはやりたい放題だろうさ。しかし、それが嫌だというのなら、お前が勝ち残ればいい。他人を当てにするよりは、その方が何よりも確実だろう。
Kudamine is clearly trying to suppress his laughter. It's like he's enjoying watching my awkward resistance to becoming a master.
どうした少年。今のはいいアイデアだと思うのだが、参考にする気はないのかな。
That's none of your business. First of all, I have no reason to fight. I'm not interested in the Holy Grail, nor do I feel like a master, even if you tell me otherwise.
ほう。では聖杯を手に入れた人間が何をするか、それによって最悪が起きたとしても興味はないのだな。
Well, that I can't argue. Damn, this guy is just so hard to deal with. I hate that he's smart. Or at least smarter than me. He doesn't care about my feelings, and he is relentless with the information he pushes on me.
理由がないのならそれも結構。ならば、10年前の出来事にも、お前は関心を持たないのだな。
10 years ago.
そうだ。前回の聖杯戦争の最後にな。ふさわしくないマスターが聖杯に触れた。そのマスターが何を望んでいたかは知らん。我々にわかるのは、その時に残された災害の爪痕だけだ。
For a second, the image of that hell flashes before my eyes. Wait, don't tell me that.
そうだ。この町に住む者なら誰もが知っている出来事だよ。エミヤシロ。死傷者500名。焼け落ちた建物は実に134棟。未だもって原因不明とされるあの火災こそが聖杯戦争による爪痕だ。
Not to be mean, not to be callous. I thought a lot more people died. A lot more people. Like, I thought it was like at least 5,000. At least. Maybe even, between 5 and 10,000 even. Because everybody who was in the area died. It was like in the middle of the night. So they would just die. But I don't know how big the area was, to be fair. Like, I don't remember if it was like 1 or 2 diameters across, like kind of like a big circle. Yeah, I don't know. I know it's big, but like, I suppose it depends the location. I guess it wasn't in like downtown, so maybe that's the big deal. I feel sick. My vision blurs. I lose my focus and I can't concentrate. My legs are about to buckle. Before that can happen, I plant my feet. I grit my teeth to maintain my composure. Raw, seizing anger is the only thing holding my nausea at bay.
エミヤ君、どうしたのよ。いきなり顔面真っ白にしちゃって。そりゃあんまり気持ちのいい話じゃなかったけど、ほら、なんなら少し休んだりする？
Must have really looked pale. I know it's rare for someone like Tosaka to be concerned about the likes of me. Don't worry, I feel better after seeing you looking at me so weird.
ちょっと、それどういう意味よ？
Nothing. Exactly what I said, so don't worry about it.
ならいいけど、余計に悪いじゃない、このド変僕。
School's honor student Rin smacks me upside the head. And just like that, my nausea and anger disappear. Thanks, you really did me a favor, so don't beat me up too much, Totaka. There's still a few things I have to ask. Something in her expression suggests she thinks she hasn't hit me enough, but she lets me continue anyway.
ほう、まだ質問があるのか。いいぞ。言いたいことは全て言ってしまえ。
I'm sure he knows exactly what I want to ask, but he urges me on anyway. Fine by me, I'm not letting him get the better of me. Let me ask you this. You said that this is the 5th Holy Grail War, so has anyone ever obtained the Holy Grail?
当然だろう。そう毎回全滅などという決めは起き。
Then...
早まるな。手に入れるだけならば簡単だ。何しろ聖杯自体はこの教会で管理している。手に取るだけならば私は毎日触れているぞ。
Okay. What? Weird. Obtaining it is easy. I don't know what he's implying here, honestly. In possession of the Holy Grail? What? The Holy Grail is here in the church?
もっともそれは器だけだ。中身が空なのだよ。先ほどリンが言っただろう。聖杯とは霊体だと。
Now just thinking about the physical manifestation that happens later, I guess.
この教会に保管してあるのは極めて精巧に作られた聖杯のレプリカだ。これを触媒にして本物の聖杯を降霊させ願いを叶える杯にする。そうだな。マスターとサーバントの関係に近いか。なあ、そうやって一時的に本物となった聖杯を手にした男は確かにいた。
So the Holy Grail was real. Okay, what happened to that guy who obtained it?
どうにもならん。 その聖杯は完成には至らなかったバカな男がつまらぬ干渉に流された結果だよ。
What? I don't know what happened to his overbearing attitude from a moment before. The priest suddenly looks, of all things, regretful. What do you mean? Didn't the Holy Grail appear?
聖杯を表すだけならば簡単だ。7人のサーバントが揃い、時間が経てば聖杯は現れる。リンの言う通り、確かに他のマスターを殺める必要などないのだ。だがそれでは聖杯は完成しない。あれは自らを得るにふさわしい持ち主を選ぶ。故に戦いを回避した男には聖杯など手に入らなかった。
Oh yeah, this is where he actually just straight up lies. It's really weird. He just straight up lies. I don't know if this is a retcon. I kind of feel like it's a retcon, but it is weird because, like, at least right here, it's portrayed as, based on what we know on Fate Zero, it's a straight up lie.
要するに他のマスターと決着をつけずに聖杯を手に入れても無意味ってことでしょ。前回一番初めに聖杯を手に入れたマスターはアマちゃんだったのよ。敵のマスターとは戦いたくないなんて言って聖杯から逃げたんだから。
That's actually a really stupid way to put it, though. Because alternatively, you could even say that the person was a pacifist who wanted to use the Grail to help people. But here they're like, well, he was a coward and awful. And he just waited for the Grail to appear and then he wanted to use it. But, like, yeah, saying he's a wuss because it's like he's a wuss because he doesn't want to kill anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wants to use an unlimited wish-granting thing to help people, but he doesn't want to kill people. That seems pretty reasonable. I don't know. Tosaka almost spits the words, then goes back to averting her eyes from Kodamine. Does she even know who the person was, though? The person who won last time? You're kidding. Does that mean Kodamine was one of the masters from the previous war, and even though he obtained the Holy Grail, he dropped out because he refused to fight? No. I guess he's just guessing. Kodamine, you didn't fight?
途中まで戦いはした。だが判断を間違えた。結果として私は空の聖杯を手にしただけだ。
That's how he describes it, I guess. I guess that's one way to view it, though. That he got half and the other guy got the other half. I guess.
もっとも私ではそれが限界だったろう。何しろ他のマスターたちはどいつもこいつも化け物揃いだったからな。私は真っ先にサーバントを失い、そのまま父に保護されたよ。
Well, he's not wrong, but also he's changing some details for sure.
思えば監督役の息子がマスターに選ばれるなど、その時点であってはならぬことだったのだ。父はその折に亡くなった。以後私は監督役を引き継ぎ、この教会で聖杯を守っている。
Kodamine turns his back to me as he speaks. There's reverence in his voice, and I see the devotion in his eyes before he turns.
話はここまでだ。聖杯を手にする資格がある者はサーバントを従えたマスターのみ。君たち7人が最後の一人となった時、聖杯はおのずと勝者のもとに現れよう。その戦い、聖杯戦争に参加するかの意思をここで決めよ
The priest looks straight down at me, demanding my final decision. I'm at a loss for words. Earlier I had no reason to fight. Now I have a reason and the will to fight. But can I truly say as much?
う。まだ迷っているのか。いいか。マスターというものはなろうとしてなれるものではない。そこにいるリンは長く魔術師として修練してきたが、 だからといってマスターになるのが決定されていたわけではないのだ。決定されていたものがあるとすれば、それは心構えができていたかいないかだけだろう。マスターに選ばれるのは魔術師だけだ。魔術師ならばとうに覚悟などできていよう。それがないというのならば仕方があるまい。お前もお前を育てた種も出来損ないだ。そんな魔術師に戦われても迷惑だからな。今ここで霊樹を消してしまえ。
He doesn't need to ask anything else. He doesn't need to ask anything else. I. Oh. Getting a little bit of deja vu here. I think I have seen. I have seen some random stuff from the game in the past, pretty distant past. So I believe if I destroy the seal, then I'll die. I guess we'll do it right now. Right now. Yeah, let's go. I can't go along with this. A gruesome battle to the death is wrong.
どうした？戦うか戦わないのか。ここで明言しろ、エミヤシロ。
Yeah, he doesn't need to ask anymore. I'm not going to fight. I forfeit my rights as master. I look right into the priest's eyes as I answer.
そうか。残念ではあるが、マスター本人の意思では仕方がない。エミヤシロはマスターである権利を放棄し、聖杯戦争から離脱した。それでいいな、リン。
Huh? Why would the priest ask Tosaka and not me? Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that either.
構わないわ。それがエミヤ君の選択なら、私がどうこう言えることじゃないでしょう。
That's a really stupid thing to say, by the way. Like, oh, if that's what he says. Like, I can't change his mind. Like, well, maybe if you just said one piece of information, it might.
その罪悪感だけでも収穫だったとするか。では早速取り掛かろう。エミヤシロ。左腕を出したまえ。
Fine, but what are you going to do?
なに、すぐに終わる。お前の左腕に宿った霊樹を消去する。
Remember before when he said that there was no way to remove them? Yeah, I guess he lied.
マスターをマスターたらしめている要因は2つある。1つはサーバントとの契約であり、1つは腕に宿った霊樹だ。この2つを失えば、お前は聖杯戦争から解放される。
The priest takes my left arm.
痛むぞ。できるだけ力を抜け。
His fingers plunge into my arm. 5 fingers dig mercilessly inside my arm. My entire body jerks from the pain. I hear the sound of tearing flesh. This was not my mind playing tricks. Even if it was some sort of illusion, I can feel my arm being torn apart. My arm is unscathed, though. But somehow the priest's fingers are digging and tearing into my arm. In Fate Zero, they just kind of were like, grab it, transfer, done. So I don't know why they're doing it this way. I guess this is canonically what you actually had to do, I guess, before. It's as if his fingers became intangible and moved through my flesh.
完了だ。手術は無事終了した。
Huh? I look at my left arm. There's not a single wound, yet I feel a bruising pain throbbing along the whole arm. In exchange for that unpleasant feeling, the inscription on my hand changed shape. Why does he still got one? It changed shape, or there are fewer strokes?
ええ。霊樹の数は3つ。キレイはそのうち2つをあなたから摘出したのよ。体を傷つけずに幹部を取り除く霊媒師みたいにね。
A spiritual doctor. If I remember correctly, they're specialized mages who can treat someone by repairing the spiritual body. And I hear they perform magecraft that uses a type of curse by removing tumors without cutting the patient up, like magic. That's a surprise. Spiritual treatments are illegal and used only in uncivilized parts of the world. A man of the church shouldn't be practicing something like that. Why does Shiro know all of this extremely random and honestly pointless information? Spiritual treatments are illegal? Why? And used only in uncivilized parts of the world. But why then? Why are they illegal?
そういうな。何らかの魔術を得得している時点で神父としては失格なのだ。ならばどのような魔術を好もうと神父失格であることは変わるまい。魔術の起線など気にするな。今のは私の唯一の取り柄でな。いろいろと魔術を習ったが性に合ったのはこれだけだった。私の魔術特性は良くも悪くも傷を開くことに特化している。おかげで他の魔術の腕はそこの弟子にさえ遅れを取る始末だよ。
Really? That's kind of confusing. Can she heal people? I don't know. I'm confused when they say like she can do all other magecraft, but it's like, wait, what is it that Rin can do though? Like, she acts as if, oh, it's normal to be able to do multiple types of magic or magecraft, but like, as far as I'm aware, I only ever see her use her gems to like fire them like bullets, which is really just her family magecraft anyway. Or yeah, she can do a basic repairs. Create a bounded field. That's nothing special. They all can do that. Yeah, I don't know what else.
良くも悪くもっていいに決まってるじゃない。綺麗ほどの霊媒師は教会にも少ないし、教会の秘跡使いだってあなたほど霊体を作れる人はごく一部なんだから。
さてな、いかに優れた治療法といえ、霊媒は肉体に依存する接触治療に過ぎない。肉体に依存しない存在証明である。魂そのものに触れられる奇跡にはほど遠いが。ともかく霊樹の摘出は完了した。後の始末は君の役割だ、エミやシロ。最後に残った霊樹を用いサーバントとの契約を断つがいい。
But why did he even remove the other two command spells? Like, why not just say, I don't know, I mean, you could just use the command spells to do some 3 random things, and then that's it. What? Sever my contract with my servant?
ええ、外で待ってるセーバーの前で契約破棄を申し出るの。けどきっとセーバーは契約破棄なんて認めてくれない。それを力ずくで執行するために霊樹を一つだけ残したのよ。
I guess there.
綺麗は。
Yeah, I guess there's that. That does make sense. Okay.
そういうことだ。霊樹を使い切り、かつサーバントとの契約を断って自分が無害であることを他のマスターに提示する。それで君は晴れて自由の身だ。正常なマスターならば無力化したマスターを襲おうとは考えまい。君は偶然手に入れた力を手放すことで素晴らしい平穏を取り戻せるというわけだ。
Unilaterally dissolving my contract with Saber and basically betraying her. Even if it was by chance, I summoned her and she protected me. Did I make a mistake? I can't agree to let myself be a part of something where masters try to kill each other. I don't agree, but what if I can't turn a blind eye to it either?
何をしている？霊樹の発動に呪文はいらん。霊樹に意識を乗せてサーバントに命令すればいいだけだ。セイバーに直接言いつけるか、 ここで一方的に契約を断つか、好きな方を選べ。
No, my mind is made up. I can't turn back now, and the priest probably wouldn't let me. I'll go and talk to Saber. I won't be a master anymore after this, right?
セイバーに直接ってヘミヤ君、それは。
ああ、保証しよう。オノがサーバントに別れを告げてくるがいい。その後君を保護対象として教会に迎え入れよう。
I'm not sure how serious he is, but the priest says that he'll welcome me. I have no intention of being under his care, though. All I'm going to do is forfeit my claim as a master. I absolutely refuse to receive any help from him after that. I refuse. I don't want your protection. After I talk to Saber and use my last command spell, I'm going home. That'll be it. I'll never see you again.
そうか。なるほど。それはそうだろうな。確かさようなら、エミヤシロ。自ら選んだ道だ。胸を張って進みたまえ。
He doesn't need to tell me that. I turn and leave the church. I step outside the church. He's there, waiting in the stone-paved square beneath the clear sky.
話は済みましたか、マスター。
Yeah, I learned what the Holy Grail War was all about, and with that in mind, I made a decision, Saber. I'm going to resign as a master. Saber's expression doesn't change. Those green eyes regard me knowingly, as if my decision was the most natural thing in the world.
それは私との契約を取りやめるということですか。
Yeah, I'm not fit to be a master, and you'd be better off forming a contract with a more capable master, rather than sticking around with a fledgling like me.
はい。戦闘面での充実を図るのなら、あなた以外の魔術師と契約するべきでしょう。アーチャーのマスターなら、私の能力を完全に引き出せる。
Yeah, then you agree to sever our contract? I'm going to use my command spell to dissolve the contract, and you will be free, Saber.
シロ、一度だけ聞きます。マスターを降りるという意思は変わりませんか？
Yeah, I have no intention of killing anyone. I say that as I look straight at Saber. At that moment, Saber's raincoat sways. Oh, I stare dumbfounded, directly into death itself. In the brief moment I blink, Saber has closed the distance between us. She sweeps my legs from beneath me. I slam hard into the ground. Pain spikes through my legs after a brief delay. There's no blood. My legs are still intact. It's a relief I still have legs. Thankfully, she only struck my legs with some metal rod. My bones are cracked and my legs hurt like it's been shattered to 1,000 pieces. That's better than having both my legs cut off.
シロ、マスターで亡くなった魔術師はそのサーバントに殺される。いかに未熟だろうと、私を呼び寄せたあなたには私をこの世に留める力がある。サーバントにはマスターが必要だ。あなたが契約を断つのなら、私はあなたを殺してその体をもらい受ける。
I don't know what she's talking about, by the way. No servant has ever done this before. Like, even when a servant betrays their master, this literally never happens.
それでもあなたはマスターを降りると。
I try to ignore the pain and focus all my concentration into looking up at Saber. I sense no hostility or murderous intent from Saber. As natural as breathing, Saber will kill me without remorse or regret, simply to remain in the world. Even so, that's right, even if I changed my mind right now, I wouldn't do it, and it's not just because I would only have one command spell left. I want nothing to do with this war. I disavow my position as a master. Having a master like me will only end in your defeat. I was defeated? If I refuse to fight once, I refuse to fight once, so I'll certainly do the same a second time. Every time I find myself in that position, I'll regret fighting. Me being a master would put not only me, but also Saber in jeopardy. It's true, though. Everything he's saying right now is actually very, very true. Very, very true.
では、ここで私に殺されても構わないのですね。私は霊体にはなれない。あなたの魂を取り込めない以上、あなたは肉体の痛みを持って死を迎える。それをみすみす受け入れると。
The hell? I'm not willing to fight. The hell? I'm not willing to fight, but I'm even less willing to just be killed. I'm going to resist. I'm going to try to flee, no matter how futile that may be. I psych myself up and glare back at Saber, refusing to let her overwhelm me. And then... Saber?
いいでしょう。レイジを使いなさい、シロ。あなたの決断だ。私が口を挟む権利。
Then why did you break his leg?
気にすることはありません。私は今回のマスターとの信頼を築けなかっただけだ。あなたがレイジで契約を立てば、私は自由になる。この体を保てるのは2時間程度でしょうが、その間に新しいマスターを見つけるだけです。
Saber lays this all out matter-of-factly, inspired by her resolve. I concentrate my thoughts on the command spell on my left hand to break my contract with Saber.
これであなたは自由だ。わずかな間の共闘でしたが、あなたの魔力は好ましかった。再び会うことはないでしょうが、無事この戦いを切り抜けられるよう祈りましょう。
The silver armor moves away. I realize that I have the urge to call out to her, but I smother it before I embarrass myself. I have no right to call out to her. She didn't blame me for arbitrarily severing our contract and was concerned for my safety until the very end. And since I've pushed her hand away and stepped down from the Holy Grail War, I'm in no position to call to her. So is his leg broken or not? The moonlit night is silent. It may be past midnight, but the town seems excessively silent. It's eerie, honestly. Eerie, yes, that does seem to describe the mood. When did the town turn out like this? It's obvious. It's the Holy Grail War. The 6 mages in this town engaging in secret battles are the ones sucking the life from the town. My chest hurts. My chest where Lancer stabbed me hours ago aches. I should get home. Nothing good will come of me going back to the church now. I try to fight down pain in my chest as I walk home. I'll think about what I should do once I get home. Once I get home, I can take a bath, clear my head. Yes, that'll help me calm down. And yet, I'll think about what I should do once I get home. That thought in itself was a mistake. Like a bad dream, I see that there is no path ahead.
なんだ、一人になっちゃったんだね、お兄ちゃん。
I raise my head toward the sound of a girl speaking in a hushed voice. The blue moon hangs overhead. Standing at the top of the hill that leads back to my house, I see a girl and a strange figure. And then, I'm not sure. There was no time to see them, no moment to exchange words, or even a chance for me to run away. The strange figure, a giant dark giant, swings his weapon. The blow creates such overpressure that it takes... Ah! It flies off, it flies from the base. The hill behind me is stained red, wet as if a rainstorm just passed by. But the ruined, torn part of my body remains pink. Blood slowly oozes out. Agony and terror creeps over me. I tumble. I'm kneeling forward, but my knees are bent in the wrong direction. They're bent forward. The legs are bent at right angles where my knees used to be. Ah! My mind can't keep up. The mind-searing agony makes it impossible to keep up with what's happening. Berserker, I'm sure I heard that, which means the monster in front of me.
行儀いいんだね、お兄ちゃん。知ってるよ。それって解釈って言うんでしょ。おじいさまは言ってたわ。日本人はお行儀よく正座して死ぬ人たちなんだって。
My consciousness begins to fade. The girl's innocent voice seems out of place in this situation. I look up. I can't breathe. Part of my chest is simply missing, leaving a gaping hole right through me. I fall backwards onto the ground. Both of my legs are folded like caterpillar treads. They're broken and won't move. I use my one working arm to grasp at the asphalt and drag myself away.
あ、まだ動けるんだ。 けど残念ね。あなたはもう逃げられない。逃げたところで意味なんてないわ。だってここで私から逃げられたとしても、その体はあと数秒で死んじゃうもの。
My body feels light. I've lost over half my blood. It's astonishing that I'm still conscious. My brain is starved for oxygen and should have stopped functioning long ago.
けど安心して、そんな簡単に死なれたらつまらないでしょ。だから私がちょっとだけ手を貸してあげました。お兄ちゃんはどんなに痛くても壊れても頭を潰すまでは意識がちゃんと残ってるの。だからこんなことをしてもまだ生き物としてのたうち回れるわ。
Gah! Gah! Feel myself being crushed. Whatever that weapon is, it crushes me like a hydraulic press. It flattens my entire body like a sheet of paper. Ah! I can't die. The only blood I have left is in my head. My body has ceased to function, and my nerves have already accepted death, waiting to be relieved from the pain, yet somehow I cling to consciousness. My throat whistles. The sound echoes in my head. My mind is a muddled mess. I just want to escape this pain. I not master anymore. I thought your body was crushed. How did you even talk? I appealed to the girl as if begging for help. A moment of hope. The girl gasps as if surprised.
だから何？
She smiles like an angel as she says that. All rationality abandons me. I'm not going to get away from this. I feel then, down to my soul, that I'm going to die here.
私でも抱き上げられるくらいになったかな。それじゃあお兄ちゃん、私のお城に招待してあげる。お城に帰ればいっぱい道具があるから、そこでゆっくりと続きをしよう。
No matter how much I'm hurt, my consciousness just won't die. And because it doesn't die, I numb my psyche. I don't know how much longer my head is going to remain intact, but I've already lost all hope. Well, there we go. Sure.
こんにちは。みんな元気にしてるかな？ゲームは1日1時間。サクッと死亡した君に体罰直撃。悩みを即時解決するお助けコーナー、タイガー道場です。
Good players should only play an hour of games per day. Like, are you freaking for real? If I only played this game 1 hour per day, that'd be an absurd amount of days to finish the game. Like at least a month, and that's just if you play every single day. I mean, technically there's no hurry, but.
さて、早速だが、本編の雰囲気ぶち壊しのこのコーナーの趣旨を問いたいと思う。答えよ、弟子1号。
She says, answer disciple 1, number 1.
この道場はニブチネバカチーナ城を救う舞台裏で、言うなればフェイトを支える大黒柱であります。いわばフェイト本編そのものと言っても過言ではないのではないでしょうか。
This is the main story of Fate.
マーベラス、ベラボー、おー、ベラボー。はい、よくできました。みんなもうすうす感づいてると思うけど、この道場こそがフェイトの肝なのよ。みんな本編でおっきな顔してる偽ヒロインたちに騙されないよう、少しでも危なげな選択肢が出てきたら迷わずそっちを選んでね。さて、今回のシローは、あっちゃー、ぺっちゃんこで小さくなっちゃったか。こんなことするのはよっぽど残酷な人でなしなんだろうな。 そこんとこどうなのよ、弟子。
問題ありません。これは愛情の裏返しによるキュートでポップなジェノサイドなのだ。
不許可。
いててて間違えました。これはうだつながらないお兄ちゃんがあるヒロインのご機嫌を損ねちゃった結末
A
です。
certain heroine.
その通り。いわば指導不覚悟。背中を見せたら切腹よ。
Exactly. He shamelessly broke the samurai code, committed a literal seppuku.
今後このような後ろ向きな選択はじゃんじゃん選
From
びな
now
さい。
on, make sure you
死
choose
ねるから。
cowardly choices. You'll have no trouble dying again.
でもまあここは名目上 Q&A コーナーなので一応悩みに答えておきましょう。弟子1号、今回の対策は？
選択肢に戻って違う方を選べばいいのであります。
Just go choose the other choice.
はい、よくできました。今回のような突発詞は至るところに仕掛けられてるから選択肢でのセーブは基本よ。
Yeah, that's what I did. Unexpected deaths like this happen all the time.
それじゃあ今回はここまで。
It should
次
be
の稽
standard
古で
practice.
君を待つ。
That's it. See you next time.
またね。
Yeah, I mean, we'll just restart, I suppose. I mean, I can load if I need to, but okay. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. Just yeah. I am a little surprised that that's exactly how it happened, but okay. Based on like what's about to happen now, it's like, wait, what's the difference between that route and this route? Or, you know, that decision and this decision, I should say. I'm not going to run away. To be honest, all this Holy Grail War and Master stuff doesn't feel real to me. Also, he still actually hasn't been explained what the classes are, which is really, really weird. It's like, okay, we've heard of Saber and Lancer and I guess Berserker and maybe Archer, but like... But if my only choice are to fight or run, I'll never run away. Never. Even the priest told me that I should be prepared if I'm a mage. I mean, they really just keep calling you a coward. Join coward. Go murder people, coward. Like, okay. That's why I need to decide. Shiro Emiya is a mage, even if not yet a full-fledged one. I've always admired Kiritsugu Emiya, and I decided to follow in his footsteps to be a champion of justice. So I need to... I will fight as a master. If you're telling me that the cause of the fire 10 years ago was the Holy Grail War, then I can't let something like that happen again. Priest gives me a satisfied smile, as if he likes my answer. I take a deep breath. I'm done wavering. A man has said he's going to fight. The only thing to do now, from now on, is move forward, head held high, so I can live up to that.
それでは君をセーバーのマスターと認めよう。この瞬間に今回の聖杯戦争は受理された。これよりマスターが残り一人になるまでこの町における魔術戦を許可する。各々が自身の誇りに従い存分に競い合え。
Oh yeah, there may be... So I said this last stream, but there may be an opening. And if an opening happens, I'll be quiet so that, like an opening cinematic animation thing. Yeah, if there is one, I'm just going to completely be quiet because more than likely I'll have to end up removing it from the stream video. The priest's voice echoes heavily through the chapel. The declaration is utterly meaningless. Only Tosaka and I are here to hear it anyway. I mean, that's a silly thing to say considering we know for a fact that normally mages have familiars to actually hear, especially at a church, what's happening. We know, so we have two mages here. I know that there's two more who have a familiar here, and then there's another one that has one here, and probably the girl we just met on that bad route, she probably has a familiar here. There's no reason to believe otherwise. So then there's only one left. Okay, only one of them doesn't have a familiar here. Yeah, that one Rider's Master would not have one here. He's the only one though. Everybody else, you know, is either here or would have a familiar here.
決
So
ま
it's
り
really
ね。
stupid that he's like, oh,
そ
that's
れじゃあ帰
pointless.
るけど、私も一つぐらい質問していい？キレ。
構わんよ。これが最後かもしれんのだ。大抵の疑問には答えよ
それじゃあ遠慮なく。キレ、あんた見届け役なんだから、他のマスターの情報ぐらいは知ってるんでしょ？こっちは教会のルールに従ってあげたんだから、それぐらい教えなさい。
う。それは困ったな。教えてやりたいのは山々だが、私も詳しくは知らんのだ。
I mean, he definitely knows some of them.
エミやシローも含め、今回は正規の魔術師が少ない。
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
私が知りうるマスターは2人だけだ。エミやシローを加えれば3人か。
So, I mean, off the top of my head, I can think of. Yeah, I guess I can think of 3 technically. But it's funny that he actually specifically mentions there aren't many legitimate mages this time. Yeah, I can think of 2 that aren't legitimate. We're including, well, if we're including Shiro, then I guess that would be Shiro, Rin, and Ilya, the girl we just met. And then the rest of the servants, the other 2, would be illegitimate. Who's the other one? Oh, he's being mean. He's being mean. He's thinking about a Ryder. Like, well, Ryder's not a legitimate mage. Like, I mean, isn't he though? He's a weird. Yeah, he's a weird one. He's not considered a legitimate mage. I guess that's kind of true though. Kinda.
あ、そう。なら呼び出された順番ならわかるでしょ？
Oh, does he?
仮にも監視役なんだから。
うん。1番手はバーサー。
Makes sense.
2番手はキャスターだな。あとはそう大差はない。先日にアーチャー、そして数時間前にセイバーが呼び出された。
Berserker and then Caster. Berserker, I guess, makes enough sense. Caster is a little surprising. Assassin would be not long after that. Archer was a few days ago. Saber was just now. So the only ones left are Ryder, who we don't know when they were summoned. It could have been like 2 days ago, to be fair. And yeah, we don't know when Lancer was summoned, which I would have thought Lancer was summoned a while back, but I guess not.
そう。それじゃあこれで。
正式に聖杯戦争が開始されたということだ。リン。聖杯戦争が終わるまで。
Oh,
こ
really?
の教会に足を運ぶことは許されない。
Really? You're straight up not allowed in the church.
それ
I guess it is supposed to be neutral ground, so if you came here and it'd be like kind of like cheating, it's like, hey, we're neutral, leave us alone type of thing.
自分のサーバントを失って保護を願う場合のみでしょ？それ以外にあんたを頼ったら減点ってことね。
What would penalize even mean?
そうだ。おそらく君が勝者になるだろうが、減点がついては教会が黙っていない。連中はつまらない論議の末、君から聖杯を奪い取るだろう。私としては最悪の展開だ。
Really? They'd be like, oh, you slightly kind of sort of cheated. Nope, we're taking it away from you. Like, just for that? Like, that's so funny. But it's interesting that he says you are likely to win. Why would he say that? I mean, I would say, just based on basic knowledge, Caster does, I mean, she's pretty good. Caster this time around is very capable. But maybe he just doesn't take Caster seriously, to be fair. But she's very strong still. Like, I guess you could easily put her at number 3. Archer would be number 1 or 2. So yeah, it's just Caster, Archer, and Berserker. So he's trying to say that he believes the Archer can outright beat Berserker, which is a little surprising. Maybe... No, I don't know. No, I can't really think of a good reason for that. Berserker only... But all the Berserker fights are so weird that, like... There is no normal Berserker fight.
エセ神父、教会の人間が魔術協会の肩を持つのね。
私は神に仕える身だ。教会に仕えているわけではない。
That's funny.
よく言うわ。だからエセなのよ、あんたは。
Kusaka turns her back on the priest. Without saying goodbye, she makes her way toward the exit. Hey, is that okay to do, Kusaka? Isn't he a senior? Shouldn't she have a little more to say than that?
いいわよ、そんなの。むしろ縁が切れてせいせいするぐらいだもの。そんなことより、あなたも外に出なさい。もうこの教会に用はないから。
Kusaka cuts through the chapel without stopping and leaves the church. I sigh and follow Tosaka. But then... I sense something and turn around. I don't know when he caught up, but the priest is right behind me, looking down at me. What? You got something else to say to me? I'm talking big, but I take a step back. This priest scares the hell out of me. I don't know what it is. Maybe he just rubs me the wrong way. Whatever it is, I can't make myself like him. I'm going home if you've got nothing. Head to the exit, trying to escape his stare. But at that moment,
喜べ少年。君の願いはようやく叶う。
the priest speaks like he's some kind of divine oracle. Those words, aren't they a reflection of my true feelings? Shiro Emiya's true intentions that I wasn't even aware of. What are you saying?
分かっていたはずだ。明確な悪がいなければ君の望みは叶わない。たとえそれが君にとって容認し得ぬものであろうと、正義の味方には倒すべき悪が必要だ。
Why does he know exactly what he's thinking to this extent? That's really weird. Everything around me seems to go dark. By the way, I'm going to stop saying the ugh, nig thing. Like, it's supposed to be like, but it should be like, honestly, it should just be UH for a sound, or a or EH. Like the NGH is like, what the freaking heck? Nig. Like, what? That's so stupid. The priest says, Shiro Emiya's greatest wish and his ugliest wish are two sides of the same coin. That's right. My wish to protect everything, to protect something, means I'm also wishing for something to protect people from. Why you? But I would never wish for something like that. I don't even remember ever desiring that. A wish so unstable just means that what I'm aspiring to is contradictory. Yet the priest brings it up. I guess maybe he's trying to corrupt him, I guess. As if to say, good thing you have an enemy now.
何？取り繕うことはない。君の葛藤は人間としてとても正しい。
Try to shake off the priest's words and head
さら
outside.
ばだ、エミヤシロ。最後の忠告になるが、帰り道には気をつけたまえ。これより君の世界は一変する。君は殺し、殺される側の人間になった。その身はすでにマスターなのだからな。
As soon as I leave, the weight on my shoulders seems to lift. It might be because I'm away from the priest, but it might also be because I see Tosaka conspicuous in her uniform and the blonde girl in the raincoat. The slightly mismatched sight of these two standing together relieves whatever pressure I felt. Saber is still silent. She looks at me and seems to want to know what I decided.
行きましょう。町に戻るまでは一緒でしょ、私たち。
Tosaka starts walking, her pace brisk. Saber and I follow suit, and 3 of us leave the church grounds. We walk down the hill. We hadn't talked much on the way here, but there's even less conversation on the way back. Even someone as dull as me knows why. After our visit to the church, I accepted my position as a master. That must be why Tosaka is keeping her distance. I get it, but I don't like the idea of seeing Tosaka in that light. Tosaka, how's your servant?
あーちゃんなら無事よ。まあセイバーにやられたダメージは簡単に消えそうにないからしばらく実体化はさせられないだろうけど。
Does that mean he isn't by your side?
ええ、私の家でかくまってる状態。今他のサーバントに襲われたら不利だから傷が治るまでは有利な場所で敵に備えさせてるの。
I think she already said this before, actually. I see. Unlike my house, I'm sure Tosaka's house is well fortified against enemies. The mage's home is like a fortress. There's not much chance of defeating them there, which means enemies tend not to try attacking them at home. The bounded field around our house just notifies us of intruders, but even having that makes a big difference. By the way, Tosaka, the priest mentioned he was the overseer of the Holy Grail War. Does that mean he knows who your servant is?
知らないはずよ。私教えてないもの。
I see. You guys seem to get along, so I thought you had.
あのね、ミヤ君。忠告しておくけど、自分のサーバントの正体は誰にも教えちゃダメよ。たとえ信用できる相手でも黙っておきなさい。そうでないと、早々に消えることになるから。
Huh? What do you mean, Saber's identity?
だから、サーバントがどこの英雄かっていうことよ。いくら強いからって戦力を明かしてちゃいつか寝首をかかれるに決まってるでしょ。いいから後でセーバーから新名を教えてもらいなさい。そうすれば私の言ってることがわかる。けどちょっとタンマ、エミヤ君はあれだからいっそ教えてもらわない方がいいわね。
Why not?
エミヤ君隠し事できないもの。なら知らない方が秘密にできるじゃない？
Who do you think I am? I can at least follow a strategy like that.
そう？じゃあ私に隠していることとかある？
Something I'm hiding from you. Well, I feel a hot blush in my cheeks as she looks at me. I shouldn't feel guilty, but I wonder if secretly idolizing her even counts in this context.
ほら見なさい。何を隠しているか知らないけど動揺が顔に出るようじゃ向いてないわ。あなたは他にいいところがあるんだから駆け引きなんて考えるのはやめなさい。
Uh-huh. Then what about you? With your mum about your servant, even to that priest, does that mean you don't trust him?
綺麗？まさか。私あいつを信用するほどおめでたくないわ。あいつはね、教会から魔術協会にくら替えしたくせにまだ教会に在籍している食わせ者なのよ。人の情報を他のマスターに売るぐらいはやりかねないわ。
I think I just want to mention that her views on him are, I think, entirely just personal. She's just angry at him for doing so bad in the previous war, basically. Tosaka huffs, obviously annoyed. Guess Tosaka really doesn't trust that priest. I'm a little relieved, but at the same time, her tone of voice also conveys a sort of closeness with the priest. We cross the bridge. There's nothing else to talk about. Her frosty white breast hangs in the winter air. The faint sound of flowing water bubbles up from beneath the bridge where we walk in the streetlight's illumination. All of those small details etch themselves onto my memory. Oddly, I don't think to look at Tosaka's face. It feels like more of a rarity to be walking beside her like this than it does to see her face. Me, Tosaka, and the girl called Saber, about whom I know nothing. The three of us, without doing anything in particular, walked back to our homes. We reach the intersection. It is where we will have to separate, as our homes are in opposite directions.
ここでお別れね。義理は果たしたし、これ以上一緒にいると何かと面倒でしょ。きっぱり別れて、明日からは敵同士にならないと。
I think this isn't meaningfully different, technically. I think she's trying to bring closure to our ambiguous relationship. Tosaka starts talking but suddenly cuts off. And I realize something. She didn't explain the rules to me out of obligation. She was only trying to help me, as I knew absolutely nothing to make things fair for me. As I knew absolutely nothing to make things fair for me. She was trying to help me to make things fair for me. And that's why the moment things have been explained, everything goes back to normal. All that's left is for us to fight each other as masters. But that would make her last words to me strange. Tosaka must have meant it would be hard to fight if she feels empathy for me. For Tosaka, everything that happened tonight was unnecessary. Things that would get complicated if we stuck together any longer. If that's how she feels, she shouldn't have gotten involved with me to begin with. She's smart enough to know that, but she helped me, even knowing it wouldn't benefit her in any way. That's how I know she had no ulterior motive for doing what she did tonight. She did it purely out of the kindness of her heart. Tosaka is totally different now than usually is at school. She's harsh and unfriendly at school, and that's putting it mildly. But seeing her right now, I want to ask her why the hell she acts the way she does at school. Honestly, the difference is on the level of fraud. But either way, Rin Tosaka is also exactly what everyone thinks she is. You know, you're a good person, Tosaka.
は？何よ突然。おだてだって手は抜かないわよ。
I know that. She had to tell me it would be a pain to be empathetic because she isn't going to go easy on me. I know, but I would rather not be enemies with you because I like people like you. I heard Tosaka's house is in the residential district with all the western houses in the opposite direction of my house. She took care of me up until now, so I'd like to walk her home.
とにかくサーバントがやられたら迷わずさっきの教会に逃げ込みなさいよ。そうすれば命だけは助かるんだから。
I'm not sure about that, but I'll still take your advice. Why did she say he's not sure about that? Anyway, I don't think that will happen since I'm likely to die before Saber. I've calmly assessed the situation. Tosaka's reaction is once again puzzling. After that wary sigh, she glances at Saber.
いいわ。これ以上の忠告は本当に感情移入になっちゃうから言わない。せいぜい気をつけなさい。いくらセイバーが優れているからってマスターであるあなたがやられちゃったらそれまでなんだから。
She turns around and starts walking. And yet, she stops dead in her tracks as if she's seen a ghost. Tosaka? The moment I call out to her, a stinging pain shoots through my left hand.
お話は終わり？
Yeah. A young voice echoes in the night. The sing-song tone comes unmistakably from a young girl. My eyes are drawn to the top of the hill. I hadn't noticed the clouds parting. Now the brilliant moon illuminates the sky. And there... a shadow looms. It's a strange shape that seems out of place in the darkened town.
まさか。
I'm not familiar with the word Tosaka whispers. I don't even need to ask. It's definitely a servant. It gives off an overwhelming aura of death that surpasses even the fire from 10 years ago.
Konbanwa, お兄ちゃん。こうして会うのは2度目だね。
The girl smiles. Her innocence sends a chill up my spine. No, the chill goes deeper than that. It's not just my body. Even my mind freezes. That thing is a monster. I'm not even looking into its eyes, but its intimidating presence paralyzes me. My instincts tell me I'm dead the instant I move. It feels like someone is pressing a knife against my exposed stomach.
やば。
Crap.
あいつ桁違いだ。
While all I manages to do is stand there, paralyzed, Tosaka is composed enough to brace herself. Even that seems futile. I can only see her back, but I still sense her despair.
あれなんだ。あなたのサーバントはお休みなんだ。つまんないな。
Wait a second.
あれなんだ。あなたのサーバントはお休みなんだ。つまんないな。2匹一緒に潰してあげようって思ったのに。
The young girl seems displeased as she stands at the top of the hill looking down at us. This is even worse. The girl knows that Tosaka's servant is not here. And then... The girl bows gracefully, which seems wildly out of place given the current mood.
はじめまして、リン。私はイリア。イリアスフィール・フォン・アインツベルンって言えばわかるでしょ。アインツベルン。
Tosaka trembles lightly, seeming to recognize the name. The girl smiles, seemingly delighted by Tosaka's reaction.
じゃあ行くね。やっちゃえ、バーサーカー。
In a sing-song voice, the girl orders a monstrosity behind her. Yeah, like, if Tosaka and Ilya had been, like, at least even 30 or 40, but like 30 years old when the war started, it would be crazy to think how powerful they'd be. I mean, they're pretty powerful here, to be fair. In a single leap, this berserker sails all the way from the top of the hill to its bottom, where we stand. Saber surges force. Her raincoat flutters off her shoulders, blocking my view for a moment. Saber runs toward her where Berserker is about to land. Berserker lands, kicking up a small torrent of air in its wake. The two meet almost simultaneously. The very air shakes. Saber stops Berserker's rock-like sword with her invisible sword. Saber's mouth twists as she strains, and then... Berserker's giant sword moves in a flash, creating a whirlwind. Thunder. The clash of swords, almost tearing the air, ends in Saber's defeat. I hear something skidding. Saber blocks Berserker's giant sword with her own, but the impact pushes her backwards. Saber buckles. Copper-skinned servant follows her. The monster swings its giant sword again and again, as if it knows how to do nothing else. Saber continues to block it with her sword, unable to dodge the strikes. Saber's sword being invisible doesn't matter. She needs to put all her strengths into blocking his attack or she's dead for sure. Saber's left with no choice but to remain on the defensive. The only chance Saber has of winning is to find an opportunity to strike between Berserker's attacks. And yet, that's only if Berserker leaves her an opening. His massive black rock sword moves like a raging storm. He is enormous. Despite his size and unwieldy weapon, Berserker is faster than Saber. His unrelenting attacks to smash whatever is in his way. That's all. But it's enough to be effective. As long as he retains his overwhelming speed and power, he doesn't really need technique. Humans devise techniques to compensate for their own weakness. Because that monster, he has no weakness. Run! It's the only thing I can manage to say. My body is completely frozen. That thing cannot be beaten. Saber is going to die. That's why she needs to run. It'd be easy if it was just her that needed to flee. Of course, she knows that perfectly well. Oh, that's not good. My body may be paralyzed, but my mind is still working. The raging storm of death simply won't let up. Saber retreats, unable to block it all. And then the final unblockable blow comes. Saber hangs in the air, twisting her body impossibly. Saber manages to defend against Berserker's titanic swing. It's all she can do to defend herself from the fatal blow, but because she can't completely brace against the giant's tremendous swing, his attack sends her flying. After sailing in a wide arc, she falls to the ground. Just before her back hits the ground, Saber turns in midair and lands on her feet. She manages to compose herself, but crimson blood stains her chest. I'm such an idiot. I've completely forgotten something crucial. I don't know how many time servants can fight in a day, but this is Saber's third battle. On top of that, Saber still hasn't healed from the wound Lancer inflicted on her chest earlier. Saber shifts her guard to protect her chest. Berserker moves in, like a violent wind, striking at Saber while she's hampered by her wound. His blow rains down on her back. Oh, sorry. Wait. I blinked. Saber shifts her guard to protect her chest. Berserker moves in like a violent wind, striking Saber while she's hampered by her wound. His blades rain down on her back. I don't know what kind of magecraft Tosaka used, but something burst against Berserker's body. From the amount of magical energy I can feel, the impact must have been equivalent to a large caliber pistol. Even that is meaningless. It barely even scratches him. He isn't nullifying magical energy like what Saber does. The attack just doesn't affect him. Despite that, Tosaka continues to cast her spell. Berserker just ignores Tosaka's spell and charges at Saber. Saber painfully lifts her head. He readies her sword, intent on continuing the fight. The sight of her in so much pain gets me moving again. No, run, Saber! I yell with all my might. She hears me, but she braces herself to confront an enemy she can't possibly compete with. Berserker's attacks are relentless. Saber weakens with every block, and slowly creeps up on her. Where in that small frame of hers does such power come from? Saber doesn't retreat. She endures the great sword's furious attacks and tries to push Berserker back with sheer vigor. She has no chance of winning. Even though she knows her demise is inevitable, she holds her own ground admirably. Maybe it sensed something from her. The monster, silent until now, continues roaring. Its attacks are impossible to block. Its attacks rain down on her, though her defense is flawless, but one strike finally sends her flying. Slam! It's the sound of something falling in the distance. Fresh blood stains her armor. Her small frame shouldn't be able to rise, and yet... No, she stands up without thinking. Her actions say that she needs to keep going, or else I'll be killed. Her actions. I realized I made a foolish decision. Berserker stops after defeating Saber. Doesn't so much as look at Tosaka or me, just waits for its master's orders. Really, you're gonna admit this?
まさか。そうよ。そこにいるのはヘラクレスっていう魔物。
Heracles.
あなたたち程度が刺激できる英雄とは格が違う。最強の怪物なんだから。
The girl calling herself Ilya narrows her eyes in joy. Her eyes expressed elation from the anticipation of finishing off her enemies. There is no need to ask who she is expecting to kill. Saber. Then what will I do? Am I going to fight that monster instead? I can't do that. Just getting near that thing without being prepared would be enough to stop my heart. I'm going to. I never run, guys. I'll look into these later, but whatever. I gotta help my servant, guys. I refuse to abandon someone when they're down. That's how I've always lived my life, and most importantly, I can't leave the girl who fought so hard to protect me.
いいわよ、バーサーカー。そいつ再生するから、一撃で仕留めなさい。
Berserker rumbles back into movement. Why you? I run forward as fast as I can. Can't possibly do anything against that monster, but the least I can do is get Saber out of the way and save her from Berserker's attack. I fall. Why? I was going to shove Saber away from Berserker. Then I'd figure out what to do afterwards. So why? Why? Why am I on the ground unable to breathe? And everybody's like, he's stupid. You're stupid. I hear surprised voices. First is Saber, who's in front of me now. Then there's Tosaka, standing at a distance looking aghast. And then for some reason, the girl calling herself Ilya stares down at me, dumbfounded. There's a gaping, ragged hole in the middle of my body. I'm on the ground. On the asphalt, there's only a little blood, considering how big the wound is. I see some wizard branch-looking things and some shattered stuff. And man, that looks painful. All those parts scattered around. I get it. How dumb am I? So I didn't make it. I could never have pushed Saber away, so I was just her shield. And then that ungodly huge machete thing took a good chunk out of my stomach. Show us, guys. Come on. Gah, I can't believe I failed at a time like this. I tried my best to be a hero of justice, but I screwed it all up when it really mattered. What a hero,
なんで
man. The silver-haired girl's face is blank as she speaks. After standing there dumbfounded, she says,
もういい。こんなのつまんない。
she calls Berserker back without finishing Saber off.
リン、次に会ったら殺すから。
The girl leaves. After she disappears, I completely black out. Ah! I lose consciousness. I'm really dead this time. I somehow survived when Lancer killed me last time, but my luck's definitely run out. There's no magecraft that could save a person who just lost half his body.
あんた何考えてるのよ。分かってるの？もう助けるなんてできないっていうのに。
It's funny, in the anime, they don't actually straight up tell you that Rin's the one that saved him. But here, they don't even vaguely try to hide that she's the one that saved him. I hear a voice reprimanding me. It must be Tosaka. She sounds like she's really mad, and I feel bad. I had no choice. I'm not good at everything like her. All I have to work with is my body. That's why the only thing I could do was to risk it all using my own body. This is a concerning point. We'll do this. Waking up. What was that? Waking up something? Let me see. Fate. Partner. See? The fate root. Wait a second. I wanna check. Rin Tosaka 3. That's interesting. I'm I'm just concerned because there's just no way to know whether you can finish an entire day. You know, a whole day could be 1 hour or shorter or way longer. You just never know. But it should be. I think it should be pretty basic. I mean, it should be. Should be a matter of showing Saber into the house. Maybe go to school, maybe. Mostly normal day. Some, like, one scene post school. I feel like this would only be 1 hour. So, we'll see. Winter, 5 years ago. It was a beautiful moonlit night. I was just enjoying the sight with Kiritsugu. It was winter, but it wasn't cold. On the veranda, it was just a little chilly, the perfect weather to watch the moon. Kiritsugu didn't go outside much anymore. He rarely went out, and he spent most of his time lounging around the house. Every time I recall this, I still feel regret. Why didn't I realize that he was acting the way any creature does when they know their time is almost up?
子供の頃、僕は正義の味方に憧れてた。
This song too? This song also? From Fate again. You know, I played Fate Grand Order first, and it's like crazy that this song is also from Fate Stay Night. But based on what I'm hearing, it's funny. This is a more complex version of the Fate Grand Order version, which is not typical. I would actually say the Fate Grand Order version is simpler, but actually better. Maybe just because there's less instruments. He blurted it out just out of nowhere. My father, who already seemed like a champion of justice in my eyes, said that as if he were reflecting on a memory. What you wanted to do, so you gave up on it? I asked, unable to completely hide my disappointment. Kiritsugu smiled apologetically and looked up at the distant moon. Unfortunately, yes, you can only be a hero for so long. It gets harder to call yourself one as you grow up. I wish I'd found that out earlier. That made sense to me. I wasn't sure why, but if Kiritsugu said it, then it had to be true. Oh well, that's too bad.
そうだね。本当にしようがない。
Kiritsugu nodded in agreement, so I just kind of blurted something out as if it were a natural thing to say. Okay, if you can't do it, then I'll do it for you. You can't do anything because you're an adult, but I can. You can leave your dream to me, because I'll make it a reality. The bold promise made my father smile. His face said everything I needed to know. Kiritsugu made a long, contented sigh and whispered,
安心した。
There he closed his eyes, and so too his life came to an end. Really? He just died right then and there in that moment? Okay. I thought he lived a little longer than that, but alright. He looked so peaceful, like he was just going to wake up in the morning, so I didn't think much about it. I think in the anime they said he died not too long after that, but it's like, no, he died literally the next morning, or right there technically. Maybe it was because by then I was used to seeing death. On a winter night, the man I called my father looked up at the moon and entered a long sleep. The yard was dead silent, not so much as a single chirp from an insect. I still remember how fiercely my eyes blazed on that bright, clear night. I didn't cry aloud, nor did I feel sad. But tears flowed down my cheek until the moon sank past the horizon. This happened in the winter 5 years ago. I probably cried 10 years worth of tears in that time. So after that, there was nothing left. So it's been almost exactly 5 years then? If it both, because it's winter now in the story and winter back then too. Interesting. Fujini's dad took care of the funeral arrangements, and that's how I ended up living in the Emiya mansion all alone. Kiritsugu's passing didn't change anything for me. I was set on becoming a man who champions justice and does what's right, just like my father, so I didn't have time to sit around. That's right, I never talked about this, but I still remember it. 10 years ago, a man saved me from a fire. He picked up a burned, dying child and carried him out of hell, weeping with joy. But then he acted like he only saw him first in the hospital. I've admired him ever since. Nobody saved me. I couldn't save anyone. In the ruins of the fire, there was only a boy who was saved, and the man who saved him. I thought you just said nobody saved me, but okay. That's why I aspired to be like him. I wanted to become a hero of justice that saves people and doesn't let anyone die. That's who he wanted to be, and he passed his wish on to me before quietly letting the curtain fall. It's only natural for a child to follow in their father's footsteps. Shiro Emiya must become a hero of justice and save someone the same way that he was once saved. I swore to myself I would do this. I vowed to fulfill the dream of the man I most admired. But honestly, I didn't know how. What did Kiritsugu mean by doing the right thing and championing justice? How can I grow up faster? What? How can I grow up faster? Is there some magical way to make Kiritsugu's dream of making everyone happy come true? Seriously, what am I supposed to do when I become a master and I can't get the blonde girl with me out of my head? Why is he saying how can I grow up faster when his dad literally just said that when you grow up you don't want to be you can't be a hero of justice anymore? The logic. I wake up in my room. Something tastes terrible. The steely tang of blood clouds my mouth. It pulled in my mouth while I slept, and every time I breathed, heavy, metallic air filled my lungs. I'm not sure why I feel this way. A violent urge to vomit makes me want to go wash my face in the restroom. Okay. I lift myself out of bed. Dizziness sets my head spinning. Feeling uneasy on my feet, I plant a hand on the wall. I try to move, but only makes the nausea worse. No, it's more pain than nausea. My body feels sluggish and my insides seem to churn whenever I move. I imagine this is about what it'd feel like if someone forced hot lead down my throat. Imagining that is making me feel like I'm going to run a fever. Wipe the sweat from my forehead, hop out of my room, leaning against the wall. Okay, I feel a little better. I wash my face, dry off my sweat-drenched body. Huh? For some reason, my abdomen is wrapped in bandages. I have no idea why, but I'll deal with it later. What? I'll deal with it later? Like, what? Oh, why are these bandages here? I'll leave them on. My stomach still feels like it's churning, but my body needs nourishment. I suck up the discomfort and keep walking, braced against the wall. The dizziness won't go away, and worst of all, my whole body feels dull. Ow, 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 I keep moving forward, making pathetic noises along the way. What the hell did I do before I went to bed last night? I don't remember training strenuously enough to make my entire body ache. Reach the living room. Sakura and Fujini must be at school. There's no signs of breakfast, nor do I see any remnants of Fujini wrecking the place. The living room's quiet, like a typical Sunday. Oh right, it was Sunday. Forgot.
おはよう。勝手に上がらせてもらってるわ、エミヤくん。
Or not. What? Rin Tosaka is sitting on the floor by the table in the living room. She's so calm, like she owns the place. So much so that I feel like the guest here. I have no idea what to say, so I plop down on the cushion, and then I take a deep breath. Tosaka, why are you...
待った。その前に謝ってくれない？昨夜の一件についての謝罪を聞かないと落ち着けないわ。
I can't even finish asking why she's in my house. So yeah, think about that. Shiro died twice and almost died a third time in one night. Tosaka's glare is all I need to know how angry she is. She seems upset about something that happened last night. What exactly happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. I died. Wait, I remember now. Right, this isn't the time for me to be leisurely breezing in the morning air. I tried to help Saber, and Berserker gutted me like a fish. The nausea returns. A chill grips my entire body as I remember the feeling of having a gaping hole in my body. Wait, that's weird. I should have died instantly. That's weird. Why am I still here?
思い出した？昨夜自分がどんなバカをしでかしたかって。なら少しは反省しなさい。
Wait, now I don't know what happens today. If it's Sunday, I only remember the next thing I remember is just going to school in the anime. So I guess we'll see what happens. Tosaka huffs critically. That kind of ticks me off. My brain, frozen since seeing Tosaka in my living room, finally grinds into action. What are you talking about? I had no choice. Well, sure, it might seem like an idiotic move if you just look at the results, and I definitely meant for it to go better than it did. So I wouldn't say it was a mistake. I return her gaze, insisting that I'm not an idiot. What? Why is she making such a show of sighing at me?
マスターが死んだらサーバントは消えるって言ったでしょ。だって言うのにサーバントをかばうなんてどうかしてるわ。いい？あなたが死んでしまえばセイバーだって消えてしまう。セイバーを救いたかったのならもっと安全な場所からできる手段を考えなさい。
To be fair, he was not aware what you could do with the command spells. Like, he wasn't aware that he could, like, move her or strengthen her. I guess those are the two main ones.
まったく身を挺してサーバントを守るなんて行為は無駄以外の何者でもないって分かってるの？
I wasn't shielding her. I was just trying to get her out of there. I didn't think that would happen to me. I knew I might die if I got near a monster like that, but that's beside the point. How is that beside the point? That's the whole point.
そう。勘違いしてるみたいね、あなた。
Tosaka only looks more irritated, like she knows exactly what I was thinking.
あのね、ミヤ君。きっちりと言っておくけど、教会まで連れて行ったのはあなたに勝たせるためじゃないわ。あれはね、何も知らないあなたが一人でも生き残れるようにって考えた結果なの。どうもそのあたりは分かってなかったみたいね。
Chance to survive.
そうよ。負けることがそのまま死につながるって知れば、そう簡単に博打は打たなくなる。エンミャ君、こういう状況でも一人で夜出歩きそうだから。
Wait a second.
脅しをかけておけば家中の栗を拾うこともなし、うまくいけば最後までやり過ごせるかもって思ったの。
I see. That didn't cross my mind. Well, why are you upset? What does me dying have to do with you?
関係あるわよ。
バカ。
この私を一晩も心配させたんだから。
Baka. Tosaka's practically throwing a tantrum. But okay, it actually feels good to have someone worry about me. From her tone, it sounds like Tosaka was the one who took care of me. If that's so, I guess I owe you one, Tosaka. Thanks. I bow my head in appreciation and apology.
分かればいいのよ。これに懲りたら次はもっと頭のいい行動してよね。
Tosaka quickly turns away. She might still be edgy, but I feel like she's in a better mood.
じゃあこれで昨日のことはおしまいね。本題に入るけど、真面目な話と昨日の話、どっちにする？
Tosaka prompts me matter-of-factly. Her straightforwardness takes me off guard, but now that I think about it, she must be here only because she has something to discuss. If she hadn't had something to discuss, she'd have gone home already. Tosaka's my enemy, so what could she have to talk about that would prompt her to stay in enemy territory? I'm curious to know what she's thinking, and I also want to know what else happened last night. I have to ask anyway, so... Start with the serious stuff. Talked about yesterday. He's a whiner. Okay, yesterday would just be a recap, I think. Let's start with the serious stuff. I have a bad feeling I don't want to hear either of them. What? Like, what the heck? What the heck would that even do? I'm more curious why Tosaka is still here. Okay, I wanted to hear about the serious stuff first. Tell me why you're still hanging around.
そう。じゃあ、先に結論から聞くわ。
Huh? What was that? For a fleeting second, Tosaka looks repulsed. I wonder what that means.
率直に聞くけど、エミヤくん、あなたこれからどうするつもり？
Tosaka asked the one question I hoped she wouldn't. Actually, that's not entirely true. It's not that I don't want her to ask so much as I haven't really thought of my answer yet. I mean, yeah, you just woke up. Yeah. What am I going to do now? It's the question I want to ask. To be honest, I don't know. I know there's a competition for the Holy Grail, but I've never been in a battle between mages. For one thing, more than anything, I want to avoid any killing. I'm not interested in something like the Holy Grail. I don't really know if I can risk my life for something I don't want.
言うと思った。あなたね、そんなこと言ったらサーバントに殺されるわよ。
What? Kill me? Why?
サーバントの目的も聖杯だから。彼らは聖杯を手に入れるという条件だからこそ、マスターの召喚に応じているのよ。
How was this not mentioned in the previous day?
サーバントにとって最も重要なのは聖杯なの。彼らは聖杯を手に入れる可能性があるから、マスターに従い、時にマスターのために命を落とす。だっていうのに、聖杯なんていらないよなんて言ってみなさい。裏切り者と切り殺されても文句は言えないでしょ。
What the hell? That doesn't sound right. Servants are the ones who are summoned by masters, right? Then...
サーバントが無償で人間に従うなんて思ってたの？聖杯は手に入れた者の望みを叶える。それはマスターの守護者であるサーバントも例外じゃない。サーバントたちにもね、それぞれ何らかの欲望があるのよ。だからこそ彼らは本来ありえない召喚に応じている。聖杯を手に入れるためにマスターがサーバントを呼び出すじゃない。聖杯が手に入るからサーバントはマスターの呼び出しに応じるのよ。
The servants have wishes too. That means Saber also has a wish she wants to granted by the Holy Grail?
だからサーバントはマスターが命令しなくとも他のマスターを消しにかかる。聖杯を手に入れるのは一人だけ。自分のマスター以外に聖杯が渡るのは彼らだって承知できないのよ。マスターと違ってサーバントには霊樹を奪うなんてことはできない。彼らが他のマスターを無力化するには殺す以外に方法がない。だからね、たとえマスター本人に戦う意志がないとしても戦いは避けられないのよ。サーバントに襲われたマスターは自分のサーバントでこれを撃退する。それが聖杯戦争なんだって綺麗から嫌っていうほど聞かされたでしょ。
Yeah, he told me enough about that last night. But that means that servants must fight and kill each other. I thought it would have been enough as long as the masters made peace with each other and gave up on the Holy Grail. Why would they give up? Like what? But if servants answer the summons because they also seek the Holy Grail and will never give up until they have it, then battles between servants really are inevitable. But then, is the girl who fought so hard to protect me also here to fight, kill for, and maybe die, all for the Holy Grail? That's awful. I don't know exactly what a heroic spirit is. I mean, they just said a hero from history. But Saber's human. I even saw her bleed yesterday.
あ、その点は安心して。サーバントに生死はないから。サーバントは絶命しても本来の場所に帰るだけだもの。英霊っていうのはもう死んでも死なない現象だからね。戦いに敗れて殺されるのは当事者であるマスターだけよ。
That's incorrect. That's a really incorrect thing to say. What she means is they, like, because she's like, oh, if they get their arm cut off, it's not really cut off. They'll just, like, return to spirit form and, like, die or whatever. Then it's like, you mean they're not... Their physical body can die? The servant's physical body can die. I guess she's technically kind of right. No, I mean, even if their deaths are figurative, it doesn't change the fact that something which takes the form of a human dies in this world.
何、人殺しだっていうの？魔術師のくせにまだそんな正義感
How dare you be okay with... How dare you be against murder and be a mage? Cool. Osaka's right. As a mage, death is never far. I understand that fact, and I've long since resigned myself to it. But I'm not, like, literally I just want to throw out there, being a hero of justice is the complete opposite of a mage, because a mage only does stuff that's supposed to be selfish, supposedly. Or at least for the betterment of mages only. But Shiro would, like, literally help anybody, which, like, definitely is not what mages do. But I'm not strong enough to be the judge of when and where other people should live or die. Of course I do. I won't be party to some war where people murder each other.
へえ、それじゃあミスミス殺されるのを待つだけなんだ。で、勝ちを他のマスターに譲るのね。
That's not my point. All I have to do is to stay alive until the end, right? I don't intend to kill anyone, but I'm also not going to hold back if I need to defend myself. Someone who shows up ready to kill others can't complain about getting killed. Though self-defense is fine.
それじゃあ他のマスターが何をしようが傍観するのね。例えば昨日のあいつが暴れ回って町の人間を皆殺しにしても無視するってわけ？
The thing from yesterday. The face. That twisted, inhuman demon. They literally already called him Hercules, by the way. Like, this played better in the anime when I feel like she didn't even say her servant's name was Heracles. Because why would she? Like, spoilers for the identity of Saber, if you don't know. But here we go. Here's a spoiler. It's King Arthur. Telling everybody that Saber is King Arthur is not a weakness. King Arthur has no weakness. The best you can say is, like, maybe he was betrayed by some of the people he trusted. That's the best thing you can say about him. But, like, you can't really address this in war unless she's just distrustful of people. But funnily enough, she actually isn't. So that never even comes up. Whereas with Heracles, hey, just go look at how he died. There's his weakness. Like freaking sheesh, you know? It's strong enough to level a house with a single blow. If it sets its mind to it, I'm sure it could destroy all of Miyama overnight. Makes matters worse, servants can turn into spirit forms. Humans who lack the ability to sense the supernatural can't even see them. I don't think Heracles ever... no, I'll say Hercules. I really hate saying Heracles. Hercules. I know it's wrong, but still. I don't think Hercules ever goes into spirit form, as far as I'm aware, in this whole game. Humans who lack the ability, I can't see them, but as soon as servants materialize, they can interact with the physical world. You could say they're the ultimate weapons. No modern technology or weaponry can affect the spiritual form. See, that's weird to say that, though, because that would imply that if you shot at a servant, it would just 100% never work. But I don't know about that, you know? I feel like a normal gun would work on them, at least to some extent. Normally. I mean, as we clearly saw, Hercules got hit by those magic bullets and it didn't affect him. But that's because he's just naturally impervious to damage to some extent. But if it was just like more of a normal servant, pretty sure a gun works just fine, I think. Our attacks don't work on them, but they can hurt us. It's a depressingly one-sided arrangement. From a normal person's point of view, servants may as well be natural disasters. Actually, this is even funnier now that I think about it, because I can definitely think of a few times where a mage was able to hurt a servant. So it's like, wait, how's that work? I thought you said that they can't interact. Or maybe it's because they use magic, maybe, I don't know. When people die to an invisible killer, those deaths will just be treated as accidents or natural causes. What do you mean? Don't masters and servants only attack other masters? What did the people in town have to do with it?
ええ、そうだったらどんなに平和なことか。けど、それなら見届け役の綺麗なんていらないでしょ。一つ言い忘れていたけど、サーバントっていうのは霊なの。彼らはもう完成したものだから、今以上の成長はない。けど、燃料である魔力は別よ。蓄えた魔力が多ければ多いほど、サーバントは生前の特殊能力を自由に行使できるわ。
I think this is only relevant for one servant. Well, I mean, maybe two. I mean, if you count Saber, kind of. I mean, Saber it mostly just comes down to the Noble Phantasm. But, I can think of another servant where that's true. Caster and Assassin can just use all their abilities. And Berserker can use all his abilities, but to be fair, who knows what would happen if Shiro was Hercules' master. Lancer would always be the same, no matter what. Yeah, again, unless the master just has so little magic power, they just can't use their Noble Phantasm. There's that, but like, other than their Noble Phantasm, is there anything else? And it's like, not really. I mean, I guess Archer maybe would be able to summon less swords, maybe. But like, yeah, and then Saber, just comes down to like, she's got her armor. Like, I mean, whatever we're seeing of Saber right now is the bare minimum of what she can do. So if like Rin was her master, I don't think that she'd be able to do that much more other than, you know, use her Noble Phantasm often, and it's really often, maybe. So yeah, I can only think of one servant that like gets a huge power up from being with a strong master.
そのあたりは私たち魔術師と一緒なんだけど、あなたこの意味わかる？
Yeah, it's like repeatedly using magecraft. Magical energy is like gunpowder. The mage is the gun itself. Like how there are different guns, pistols, rifles, shotguns, mages all have a variety of abilities. To continue the metaphor, servants are more like artillery cannons than firearms. They burn a huge amount of gunpowder to launch massive spells.
そうよ。
Shells.
けどサーバントたちは私たちみたいに自然からマナを提供されてるわけじゃない。基本的に彼らは自分の中だけの魔力で活動する。それを補充するのが私たちマスターで、サーバントは自分の魔力プラス主であるマスターの魔力分しか生前の力を発揮できないの。けどそれだとあなたみたいに半人前のマスターじゃ優れたマスターにはかなわないってことになるでしょ。
That's not true, actually. I mean, what if the servants just strategizes better, or just has a good matchup, or lays a trap or something? You don't know.
その抜け道っていうか、当たり前って言えば当たり前の方法なんだけれど、サーバントは他から魔力を補充できる。サーバントは霊体だから、同じものを食べてしまえば栄養は取れるってこと。
Eating something similar? You mean other spiritual bodies? What kind of spirits would they eat?
簡単でしょ。自然霊は自然そのものから力を汲み取る。なら人間霊であるサーバントは一体何から力を汲み取ると思う？
Oh, it really is an easy question. Just as we eat meat, human spirits like servants have to eat.
ごめんと。まあ魔力の補充なんて聖杯に補助されたマスターからの提供だけで大抵は事足りる。けど一人より大勢の方が大量摂取できるのは当然でしょ。はっきり言ってしまえばね、実力のないマスターはサーバントに人を食わせるのよ。サーバントは人間の幻感情や魂を魔力に変換する。自分のサーバントを強くしたいのならそれが一番効率がいい。人間を殺してサーバントへの生贄にするマスターは決して少なくないわ。
It is a bit rare. I can only think of like twice that this ever happens in this war and the last war. Well, maybe kind of another time, but I don't know. Sacrifice? Are you saying there might be masters out there who go around killing people to make their servants stronger? If they're not choosy about their methods?
そうね。けど頭のいいやつならそんな無駄なことはしないんじゃないかな。いい？サーバントがいくら強力でも魔力の器そのものには限界がある。能力値以上の貯蔵はできないんだから殺して回るにしても限度があるわ。それにあからさまに殺人を犯せば教会が黙ってないし、何よりそのシーンからサーバントの能力と正体が他のマスターたちにバレかねない。もちろんマスター自身の正体もね。聖杯戦争は自分の正体を隠していた方が圧倒的に有利だから、普通のマスターならサーバントを出し惜しみするはずよ。
I get it. If you don't let anyone know you're a master, then the other masters won't attack you. Conversely, if the other masters know who you are, that you're just asking to be ambushed, it stands to reason that no one would be reckless enough to let their servant attack civilians and risk getting exposed. I want to just throw out here that, okay, how many people know where Shiro, masters do know that where Shiro lives? That's Saber, obviously, because she's here. Archer, Lancer, Berserker. So Ryder doesn't know. Now we can say that technically maybe Caster doesn't know, but she does know, because the whole point of a caster is that they're aware of like everything within a nearby range generally. So technically she knows. So you could say it would be that two servants don't know where he lives right now. Well, that's a relief. As long as a master doesn't order it, servants shouldn't indiscriminately attack people.
でしょうね。仮にも英雄だもの。自分から人を殺して回るやつはそもそも英雄だなんて呼ばれないだろうけど、もう断言はできないか。
I'm sure some heroes actually did kill innocent people
暴虐者だからこそ
regularly-ish.
英雄になった例なんていくらでもあるんだし。
Tozaka just casually raises a truly terrifying point. That she sounds genuine about it, rather than sarcastic or ironic, tells me how much of a realist she is.
とりあえず確認しておきたかったことはそういうこと。サーバントがどんなものかは分かったでしょ。聖杯戦争に勝ち残ろうとしているのはマスターだけじゃない。この戦いに参加した以上、エミヤ君は自分のサーバントを律する義務がある。
An obligation to control my servant, so I need to ensure my servant doesn't attack people as well as other servants.
少しは自分の立場が理解できた？なら次はあなたの体のことね。エミヤ君、あれから自分に何が起きたのか覚えている？
Oh, I remember and all, but I ran over to Saber, Berserk tore my guts out, lost consciousness, so I don't know why I'm alive, let alone what happened.
そんなことだろうと思ったわ。本題の続きに入る前にそこんところだけ説明してあげる。
Sighing in displeasure, Tosaka begins a brief explanation. Berserker left right after. Body started healing on its own and was back to normal after a few minutes. I was still unconscious, so Tosaka brought me here, and the rest was as I remember it.
ここで重要なのは、あなたはあなた一人で生き切ったっていう事実よ。確かに私は手助けしたけど、あの傷を完治させたのはあなた自身の力だった。そこ勘違いしないでよね。
That's what it sounds like from the way she told it. The way you told it. So you aren't the one who healed me?
まさか死にかけてる人間を蘇生させるなんて芸当はもう私にはできない。エミやシローは自分でぶっ飛んだ中身をどうにかしたのよ。
Why'd she say Emiya Shiro right there out of nowhere? I don't really have an answer to that. My stomach is back to normal, yes, but I'm honestly still dubious about what Tosaka said. I can't even use any healing magecraft, much less raise the dead.
そうなると原因はサーバントね。あなたのサーバントはよっぽど強力なのか、それとも召喚の時に何か手違いが生じたのか。まあ両方だと思うけど、何らかのラインがつながったんでしょうね。
Line? You mean some sort of faded line that connects a familiar and its mage?
あら、ちゃんと使い魔の知識はあるじゃない。なら話は早いわ。要するにエミヤ君とセイバーの関係は普通の主人と使い魔の関係じゃないってこと。見たところセイバーには自然治癒の力もあるみたいだから、それがあなたに流れてるんじゃないかな。普通は魔術師の能力が使い魔に付与されるんだけど、あなたの場合は使い魔の特殊能力が主人を助けてるってわけ。
Wait a second. I need to check something. I just remembered something that I keep forgetting every single day. Like, right, there's something I have to do tomorrow. So it's like river flowing upstream.
うまい例えね。本来ならありえないだろうけど、セイバーの魔力ってのは川の流れを変えるほど膨大なんでしょ。そうでなければあの体格でバーサーカーとまともに打ち合うなんて考えられない。
It wouldn't normally be possible. Does that mean your relationship with Archer is a normal maid and familiar relationship?
そうよ。人の言うこと全然聞かないやつだけど、一応そういう関係。マスターとサーバントのつながりなんてガソリンとエンジンみたいなものだもの。こっちが魔力を提供して、あっちがそれを食べるだけ。まあ中には肉体面でもサーバントと共有して疑似的な不死を得たマスターもいたそうよ。サーバントが死なない限り自分も死なないなんていうやつなんだけど。エミヤ君、人の話聞いてる？
Interesting. Crazy that they just mentioned this now. I don't think this is relevant to Fate Stay Night at all. I mean, maybe a little bit in the in the Unlimited Blade Works route. Maybe, like a little bit, kinda, sort of, kind of, maybe, like vaguely, maybe. And maybe Heaven's Feel. Depends. No, wait. No, it wasn't Unlimited Blade Works. No, it was Heaven's Feel. Only Heaven's Feel. Kind of. Just a little bit. But then it was in Fate Apocrypha. Straight up. Somebody combined with their servant. 100%. Didn't work out well for them. But yeah, it happened. I can't think of another example. Yeah, nothing really springs to mind. Very weird that they would mention this. Only 2 examples that I can think of off the top of my head. Huh? Yeah, I am. And Tosaka, does that mean my body will heal from injuries even if I don't do anything about them?
あなたのサーバントの魔力を消費してね。理屈はわからないけど、原因がセイバーの実体化にあることは間違いないわ。あなたが自然治癒の呪いなんて習得しているはずはないから。
Of course not. My old man never taught me something that complicated.
そうじゃなくて、そうだったら私が悩む必要はなかったっていうことよ。いいわ。あなたには関係のない話だから。
Because she used her necklace to regenerate us. But I'll just mention right now that he couldn't regenerate at that moment. But now he can. Let's just say that. Huh? What does she mean? I wonder why Tosaka is being so roundabout. Oh, also this explains why he dies in the end route, because he broke off his well, I mean, I guess this is a bit of a spoiler, but basically he broke off his contract with Saber, and that's why he was able to die to Ilya. Because if they were still contracted, then he wouldn't have died to Ilya. Well, technically, mostly.
まあいいわ。とにかくあまり無茶はしないこと。今回は助かったからいいけど、次にあんな傷を負ったらまず助からないはずだから。多少の傷なら治るなんていう甘い考えは捨てた方がいいでしょうね。
I know. Saber had to help me because I went and got myself hurt. I don't have any excuse for that.
バカね。そんな理由じゃないわよ。断言してもいいけど、あなたの傷を治すと減るのはセイバーの魔力だけじゃない。
How would you know?
あなた、それ絶対なんか使ってるわ。
I don't know about that.
寿命とか性分とか預金残高とか、ともかく何かが減りまくってるに違いないんだから。
I think it actually did come cheap and free. It's just that good. Tosaka huffs once again, and I agree, but Tosaka, I don't think my bank account has anything to do with it.
関係あるわよ。魔術ってのは金食い虫なんだから。使ってればどんどんお金は減っていくものなの。
That's only for their magecraft, because their magecraft is all about storing their magic in gems. So they have to use their gems to use their magecraft. So, yeah.
そうでなければ許さないんだから。特に私が。
Tosaka absolutely explodes with fury. It's odd, really. The more I talk to her, the more this Tosaka feels like the real one, while the girl at school feels like an act. So I guess I already noticed that yesterday.
話を戻しましょうか。で、どうするの？人殺しはしないっていうエミヤ君は、他のマスターが何をしようが傍観するんでしたっけ？
I take it back. She's not only twisted, she's a jerk who's going out of her way to drive me into a corner, all with a smile. If it comes to that, I'll go in to stop them. The master won't have much to do as long as their servant has been defeated, right?
はっきれた。自分からマスターは倒さない。けど他のマスターが悪事を働いたら倒すって言うんだ。エミヤ君、自分が矛盾してるって分かってる？
Yeah, I know they're just pretty words, but I can't think of anything else. I'm not changing my principles, no matter what you say.
問題点が一つあるけど、言っていいかしら？
I mean, it's up to Saber at the end of the day. I can see the gears turning in her head. She's up to something. But I promised to listen, so I need to hear her out. Yeah?
昨日のマスター覚えてる？エミヤ君と私を簡単に殺せとか言ってた子だけど。
How can I forget? She attacked us on our way home without any warning.
あの子、必ず私たちを殺しに来る。それはエミヤ君にも分かってると思うけど。
Oh, right. That girl's a master too. She knows that Tosaka and I are both masters, so she's bound to come after us eventually. It could be today or tomorrow, but we've already signed our death warrants. I have no chance of stopping that monster.
あの子のサーバントバーサーカーは桁違いよ。マスターとして未熟なあなたにあれは撃退できない。自分からは何もしないで身を守るって言うけど、あなたは身を守ることさえできないわ。
Look who's talking. You have no chance against that thing either.
正面からじゃ勝てないでしょうね。白兵戦ならあれは最強のサーバントよ。きっと歴代のサーバントの中でもあれと並ぶやつはいないと思う。私もバーサーカーに襲われたら逃げ延びる手段はないわ。
That goes for me too. I'm pretty sure I won't survive the next round with that thing. My hand moves unconsciously to my stomach. The wound is closed. It's probably not even fair to call this a wound. It's a spot where a gigantic sword nearly killed me instantly. I can't shake off the sudden wave of nausea that wells up in me when I imagine the next time I might get a taste of that blade.
そういうこと。わかった。何もしないままで聖杯戦争の終わりを待つなんて選択肢はないってことが。
Yeah, I know that now, but Tosaka, I'm not sure what your point is. I'm sure you're not here just to make fun of my inevitable doom, are you?
そこまで悪趣味じゃない。もうここまで言ってるのにわからない？要するに私と手を組まないかって言ってるの。
What now? What? If I take those words at face value, that means you want to team up with me, Tosaka?
そう。私のアーチャーは致命傷を受けて目下治療中。完全に回復するまで時間がかかるけど、それでも半人前ぐらいの活躍はできるはずよ。で、そっちはサーバントは申し分ないけど、マスターが足引っ張ってやっぱり半人前。ほら、合わせればちょうどいいわ。
Hey, I'm not that bad of a mage.
私が知る限りでもう3回も死にそうになったのに、1日で3回も殺されかける人間なんて初めて見たけど。
Yep. But
同盟の対価ぐらいは払うわ。アーチャーを倒されたことはチャラにしてあげて、マスターとしての知識も教えてあげる。ああ、あと暇があればエミヤ君の魔術の腕を見てあげてもいいけど。どう？
it is an attractive proposition. I know next to nothing, and Tosaka does seem knowledgeable. And I'd like to avoid fighting her if I can.
エミヤ君、答え聞かせてほしいんだけど。
She urges me to make a choice. Oh my gosh, what the fuck happens if I say we can't team up? Let me save it. This isn't something I should be agonizing over. I'm an amateur, while Tosaka's a first-rate mage and a master. Given what happened last night, teaming up with her is clearly the wiser choice. But
エミヤ君、返事聞きたいんだけど。
doing it right now feels like jumping the gun. I don't think Tosaka is trying to deceive me, but I should figure things out on my own first. I mean, he could have actually literally just said, "Hey, what's your goal? What do you plan to do with the Holy Grail?" Could have just said that. Otherwise, I won't know right from wrong. Sorry, Tosaka. I appreciate your concern, but I can't give you the answer you want. As heavy as this whole thing is, I don't think I should just jump to a decision here. I meet her gaze, dig my heels in. Tosaka slightly narrows her eyes and gives an emotionless nod.
それじゃあ交渉は決裂ね。まあ確かにエミヤ君の言い分も正しいわ。本当に勝つ気があるなら 誰も信用できないもの。
That isn't true. I trust you, Tosaka. I just don't think I can make this decision on my own. If I'm Saber's master, then I shouldn't make commitments without looping her in.
なるほど。確かにそうね。あなたはもうれっきとしたマスターなんだから。
Tosaka nods again in acceptance and quickly turns away. Her long hair sways as she walks away. With that, the girl who might have been my ally turns back.
それじゃあね。次に出会ったら敵同士だから。
Literally just said, "Can I talk to my servant real quick about this?" That's it. I want to respect my servant's decisions, so I want to talk to them real quick, and then I'll talk to you right after. But instead, it's like, not we're enemies now. Like, okay, leaves me with a cold warning, just as like Ilya did. Just another example of Rin being an awful character. Okay, I take a quick breather, try to reorganize my thoughts. Haven't even had time to think since witnessing that fight between Lancer and Archer back at the school. Lancer stabbed me in the chest, somehow I survived, then Lancer attacked me again. Saber saved me, and then I became master, so then I had to explain things at the church. Holy Grail War, battle to the death. Holy Grail, a device said to grant any wish to the victor. There's so much I still don't understand, but I have a reliable guide to help me out. Yeah, I should go and talk to Saber first. After making a full round of the house, Saber is nowhere to be found. I even checked the detached guest rooms, but I can't find her. That's weird. That armor isn't exactly camouflage. Even so, fully armed and armored, Saber still eludes me. Supposedly, servants can turn into spirit forms, but unfortunately, she can't with me. No, first of all, even though I'm called master, I don't know anything about her. I don't even know what Saber is, or how servants are able to exist. The one thing I do know is it really doesn't matter how much stronger or better someone is. They can be wounded in a fight and they bleed when they're wounded. Oh, Saber is in the still silent dojo. She looks different than she had last night. Saber is sitting upright, her legs tucked beneath herself on the wooden floor, not wearing any armor. She changed into rather elegant clothes that really suited her. Now she sits and wait. Sits and wait? Words failed me at the sight. Saber looks beautiful. She strikes a refined, dignified figure as she sits there, eyes closed. She seems to almost merge with the silence, like nothing so much as still water. And that rids me of any further doubt in my mind. Servant or whatever it is, she seems sacrosanct. Though from now on, I'm sure I won't go down the wrong path. Saber, I call to her. Saber calmly opens her eyes and meets my gaze.
目が覚めたのですね、シロ。
Voice is serene, something rich and calm about her voice. Yeah, I just woke up. What are you doing here?
体を休めていました。私にはシロの手当てはできませんから。今はせめて自身を万全にしておこうと思いまして。
Saber gives a straightforward response as she scrutinizes me. This is making me nervous in a different way than Tosaka did.
シロ、どうしました？やはり体がまだ。
Sure, what is it? Is your body still... No, I'm totally fine. It's something else. Really, it's nothing. I quickly take a step back and shake my head. Looking away from Saber, who tilts her head at me quizzically, I try to calm my rapid heartbeat. Get a hold of yourself. Why are you getting worked up like this? I take a deep breath, but I don't think this feeling is going away anytime soon. Man, why did she have to change? I can't help myself. With Saber in that outfit, I can't help but actually think she's real now. Seriously, she's drop dead gorgeous. I mean, I thought that yesterday, but it's actually setting in now. And seeing her dressed in a girlish outfit like that makes it really difficult for a normal boy my age to act properly.
シロ、
As soon as we make eye contact, I can feel my nervousness grow. Then again, I wasn't looking everywhere for her just to stay silent. It's uncomfortable, but I can't let it be awkward forever. All right, may I, Saber? This is the first time for us to sit down and actually figure things out, but bite the bullet. But then,
シロ、話の前に昨夜の件について言っておきたいことがあります。
she interrupts me, obviously displeased, making her earlier calm hard to fathom. Sure, what is it?
ですから昨夜の件です。シロは私のマスターでしょう。そのあなたがあのような行動をしては困る。戦闘は私の領分なのですから、シロは自分の役割に徹してください。自分から無駄死にをされては私でも守りようがない。
Saber doesn't mince words. Her clipped tone is enough to make me forget my anxiety. What the hell? If I hadn't intervened, you'd have been cut in half.
その時は私が死ぬだけでしょう。シロが傷つくことではなかった。繰り返しますが、今後あのような行動はしないように。マスターであるあなたが私をかばう必要はありませんし、そんな理由もないでしょう。
What? Don't be stupid. I don't need a reason to protect a girl. Saber stiffens as if surprised to see me upset at her. Then her look becomes one of indescribable dignity. I find myself taking a step back under her severe expression. Now I just feel embarrassed, like I've said something incredibly tone deaf. Anyway, thanks for taking me home. I appreciate that. I turn around and thank her. Embarrassing enough. It's embarrassing enough to thank her like this, but in this situation it feels even more awkward. Even so, it's only right to thank the person who saved my life.
それはどう？サーバントがマスターを守護するのは当たり前ですが、感謝をされるのは嬉しい。シロは礼儀正しいのですね。
I don't think I'm particularly polite, actually. Something more pressing that I need to bring up. Let's get back on topic, Saber. So is this the right... This was the right choice to go to when I had the two options? Seems like it was. I don't know. Oh, I can call you Saber, right?
はい。サーバントとして契約を交わした以上、私はシロの剣です。その命に従い、敵を撃ち、あなたを守る。
Saber does not hesitate in the slightest to give her answer. Her tone leaves no room for doubt. You're on my sword, huh? To win the Holy Grail thing.
シロはそのために私を呼び出したのではないのですか?
No, actually, it was just a coincidence. You may have figured this out, but I'm not a full-fledged mage. I'm sorry, but I have no real knowledge or power as master. But now that I've decided to, I'll fight. I'm inexperienced as a master, but are you okay with that?
もちろん。私のマスターはあなたです、シロ。これはどうあっても変わらない。サーバントにマスターを選ぶ自由はないのですから。
That's technically wrong, but okay, sure, why not? Didn't know that. If it's true, I'll need to respect Saber's needs and actions as best I can. Got it, then you're okay with me being your master, Saber?
ええ。ですがシロ、私のマスターに敗北は許さない。あなたに賞賛がなければ私が作る。可能であるすべての手段を用いて、あなたには聖杯を手に入れてもらいます。私たちサーバントは無償であなたたちマスターに仕えるのではない。私たちも聖杯を欲するがゆえに、あなたたちに仕えるのだから。
Hold on, you mean you want the Holy Grail to... This was already
当
addressed.
然でしょう。もとより霊体である聖杯に触れられるのは同じ霊格を持つサーバントだけです。聖杯戦争に勝利したマスターはサーバントを介して聖杯を手に入れる。その後サーバントは見返りとして望みを叶える。それがサーバントとマスターの関係です、シロ。
Oh, come to think of it, there's no reason these absurdly strong heroic spirits would listen to humans normally. They have their own reasons for serving masters, which means Saber has a wish she wants granted. That's why Saber doesn't hesitate to fight, even if her master is as incompetent as I am. Okay then, can I ask one more thing? You said masters are mages who summon servants, right? I get that, but I still don't quite understand what your side of things. I do know that Saber and Lancer aren't your real names, though.
ええ、私たちの呼び名は役割ごとにつけられた呼称に過ぎません。
Oh my
そうで
gosh.
すね。この際ですから大まかに説明してしまいましょう。
Just trying to think how long this is gonna be. We'll at least end the scene at the very bare minimum.
私たちサーバントは英霊です。それぞれが自分の生きた時代で名を馳せたか、あるいは人の身に余る偉業を成し遂げた者たち。どのような手段であれ、一個人の力だけで神域まで上り詰めた存在です。
That much is obvious. Heroic spirits had supernatural abilities when they were alive, celebrated after their deaths, and promoted to a higher spiritual rank than a ghost or such.
ですが、それは同時に短所でもあります。私たちは英霊であるがゆえに、その弱点を記録に残している。名を明かす。正体を明かすということは、その弱点をさらけ出すことになります。
If you have any. I see, heroes usually do have some opponent that they are weak against, so that's why you're using a name like Saber and concealing your real name.
はい。もっとも、私がセーバーと呼ばれるのは、そのためだけではありません。聖杯に招かれたサーバントは7人いますが、そのすべてがそれぞれのクラスに応じて選ばれているのです。
I'm gonna take a very, very short break. I just gotta move around real quick. think we can get a bit further now. like, I kind of freshen myself up to be a little more awake. 7 servants who were called forth by the Holy Grail, each of them selected according to their classes. Class, so that's where Saber and Archer come from. Like, how was this not mentioned before?
元より英霊を丸ごと召喚するということ自体が奇跡に近い。それを7人分というのは聖杯でも手に余る。その解決のため、聖杯はあらかじめ7つの器を用意し、その器に適合する英霊だけを呼び寄せた。この世界に我々が存在できるよりしろを用意したのです。それが7つの役割。
Here we go.
セーバー、ランサー、アーチャー、ライダー、キャスター、アサシン、バーサーカー。聖杯は役割に該当する能力を持った英霊をあらゆる時代から招き寄せる。そうしてクラスという殻をかぶった者がサーバントと呼ばれるのです。
I get it. So you're a saber because you're a heroic spirit who was good with the sword.
はい。属性を複数持つ英霊もいますが、こと剣に関しては私の右に出る者はいないと自負しています。
The funny part is that she is bad with the sword, actually. It's hard to say who would be the best swordsman in all of humanity, but it's a pretty good assumption that Musashi would be in the top 5. That's hard to disagree with. This is just pure sword ability, of course. We're not talking about magic. It's a little confusing when it comes to that. Theoretically, she could just start shooting lasers, I guess. I don't know if that necessarily would constitute being a good swordsman, though, because, like, maybe a good swordsman would, like, okay, cool, that's really powerful, but, like, if I dodge them and get close to you, then you're probably screwed, right? So, trying to think, like, the best swordsman in all of history. Theoretically, Achilles. I don't know if it's canon that Achilles used a sword or a spear to kill Hector. I thought it was a sword, but I don't know for sure. Technically, Hercules also could have been a sword, but no, I think it's usually a club. I think. And also, he's not, like, known for training as a swordsman. Yeah, nobody else is really sticking out from what my thoughts are. Musashi's really high up there as far as, like, technique goes.
もっとも、それがセーバーの欠点でもある。私は魔術師ではありませんから、マスターの剣となって敵を撃つことしかできない。
I mean, that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, you're not good at the cloak and dagger stuff. I don't consider that a weakness. You're more than strong enough as a saber.
シロ、戦闘で強いだけではこの戦いは勝ち抜けません。
She says after she won at least 2 fights through might alone.
例えばの話ですが、敵が自身より白兵戦で優れている場合、あなたならどうしますか?
Well, I don't know. I guess I know I wouldn't be able to win if I just fight head on, so I would have to do something without fighting. I understood once I said that. If the opponent is strong, of course you wouldn't pick a direct fight with them. Defeating opponents with a sword isn't the only way to fight. If you can't beat your opponent with a sword, just have to come up with another way.
そういうことです。白兵戦で優れていると相手に知られた場合、相手はまず白兵戦など仕掛けてこないでしょう。そういった意味で言うと、能力に劣ったサーバントはあらゆる手を尽くしてくる。アサシンのサーバントは能力こそ低いですが、気配を隠すという能力がありますし、キャスターのサーバントはこの時代にはない魔術に精通している。単純な戦力差だけで楽観はできません。加えて 私たちには宝具がある。どのようなサーバントであれ、英霊である以上は必殺の機会を持っているのです。
Noble Phantasm? I've not heard the term, though I think I can glean the meaning from the word.
宝具とはサーバントが持つ特別な武具のことです。ランサーの槍やアーチャーの弓、それに私の剣などが該当します。英雄とはそれ単体で英雄とは呼ばれません。彼らはシンボルとなる武具を持つがゆえにヒーローとして特化している。英雄とその武装は一つなのです。ゆえに英霊となった者たちはそれぞれが強力な武具を携えています。それが宝具、サーバントたちの切り札であり、私たちが最も警戒すべきものです。
Saber says that noble phantasms are weapons that heroic spirits had while they were alive. I recall that blue knight's spear. Sucked up all the magical energy in the air, it stabbed Saber's chest with an impossible trajectory. That thing is certainly not something that a normal human can handle. The spear itself carried a strong curse, but I felt an amount of magical energy on another level from the words Caster said back then too. Could that be? Saber, are noble phantasms magecraft? Lancer's spear certainly seemed like something with history, but the spear itself was not extraordinary. The spear actually is extremely extraordinary, so it's really funny that he says this. But with his words, the spear went beyond the realm of weapons. Isn't that a type of magecraft?
ええ、確かに宝具は魔術に近い。例えばランサーの槍です。彼の槍はそれ自体が宝具ではありますが、その進化を発揮するのは魔力を注ぎ込み、その神明を口にした時だけです。宝具とはある意味形になった神秘ですから、魔術の発現に栄唱が必要なように、宝具の発動にも栄唱、神明による覚醒が必要になる。ですが、これにも危険はあります。宝具の神明を口にすれば、そのサーバントの正体が分かってしまう。
I get it. Heroes and weapons are a set. If you know the name of the weapon, you can work out who wields it. Saber nods in silence. That is why a noble phantasm is a trump card. In exchange for revealing their identity, it would launch an unavoidable fatal blow. And sort of. And maybe. And if that attack misses or fails, the servant has revealed their weaknesses. So Saber, is your noble phantasm that invisible sword?
そうですね。ですが、あれはまだ正体を明かしていません。今の状態で私の神明を知るサーバントはいないでしょう。
With that, Saber looks away uncomfortably for a second.
シロ、その件についてお願いがあります。
What kind of
私
request?
の神明のことです。本来サーバントはマスターにのみ神明を明かし、今後の対策を練ります。ですがシローは魔術師として未熟です。優れた魔術師ならば、シローの思考を読むことも可能でしょう。
Really? Read your mind?
ですから、
Is that even a real thing? I don't remember that ever happening. Would that be like the equivalent of Kodomine? Possibly having read Shiro's mind, maybe? I don't know. So you can't reveal your name, huh? Yeah, you're right. Like hypnosis or being hit with a whisper type spell. Or, well, I doubt it, but if other masters have mystic eyes, then I might start blabbling about it. Mentioning mystic eyes, very funny. Since, like, it's mostly not important in this. Okay, then I'll leave it up to you to decide when to use your noble phantasm.
その、本当にそんなにあっさりと。
It's not rash. I thought it over and I'm satisfied by the conclusion I reached. I did think it through, so don't worry. Moving on. We've talked through most things, but I still think I understand the whole situation. Hey, Saber, do masters or servants have some sort of mark? I don't really know what I should be doing.
いいえ、残念ながら明確な判別方法はありません。
Nope.
ただ、近くにいるのならサーバントはサーバントの気配を察知できます。それが実体化しているのならなおさらです。サーバントはそれ自体が強力な魔力ですから。シローもバーサーカーの気配は感じ取れたでしょ。
That's true. It'd be bad if I can only tell once I'm attacked, right? You need to at least notice before they approach, or else I won't be able to take some kind of countermeasure.
では、マスターの気配をたどるのはどうですか？マスターとて魔術師です。魔術を生りとする以上、魔力は必ず漏れています。それを探れば、この町にいるマスターは特定できるのでは。
Sorry, unfortunately I can't do anything requiring skills like that. I mean, I didn't even realize Tosaka's identity, and we go to the same school. We were in the same building for 2 years, and on top of that, I saw her many times. Damn, no wonder I got made fun of for being an amateur. My only proof as master is my command spell. Looks like I have a tough road ahead of me. I sigh heavily, and then...
シロ、少し目を閉じてもらえますか？
Saber's face is stern as she speaks. Close my eyes. Why?
マスターだと証明するためです。いいですから、目を閉じて呼吸を整えてください。
I close my eyes. I feel something slightly touching my forehead. Wait, it's oddly pointed. Could it be the end of her sword? Saber, hold on. Are you sure you're not doing anything weird?
マスター、黙って私の指先に意識を集中してください。あなたも魔術師なら、それでこちらの魔力を感じ取れるでしょう。
Oh, so it's Saber's finger touching me. Pull myself together and quiet my mind. Whoa, what is this? Saber, what was that?
なんだではありません。あなたと私は契約によってつながっているのですから、私の状態は把握できて当然です。
I understand your
どのよう
condition.
な形で把握したのかは知りません。サーバントの能力を測るのはあくまでシローが見る基準です。単純に色で識別するマスターもいれば、獣に例えて見分けるマスターもいます。つまり個人差はあれど、本人にとって最も判別しやすい捉え方をするということです。これはマスターとしての基本ですから、今後は頻繁に確かめてください。私と同様、一度見た相手ならばその詳細が理解できているはずですから。
I think I get it now. I was surprised because it was so sudden, but I might be able to act a bit more like a master now.
マスター、簡略しましたが、私にできる説明は以上です。
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but it makes sense. Sorry for the trouble, Saber.
すまなかったではありません。状況が分かったのなら、これからどうするかを決めるべきではないですか。
Saber leans forward, attentively awaiting my next words. This tells me Saber's probably the same as Tosaka. She's the sort to strike first. Well, I don't think we'll do anything particularly different. I don't plan to go looking for other masters to defeat them like Tosaka.
シロ、それでは話が違う。あなたはマスターとして聖杯を手に入れる気がないのですか。
Saber's eyes narrow. Those eyes are those of a cool-headed knight that does not accept any disagreement. I stare back, trying not to let myself be intimidated and clearly convey my intentions. Of course I do, but only because I don't want it to fall into the wrong hands. I don't really have any particular reason to want the Holy Grail for myself. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to fight. I'm a mage. Even if I'm an amateur, I know I can't back out of this situation now, and that I won't make it out alive if I just sit and do
では
nothing.
魔術師として避けられない戦い、 つまり聖杯を手に入れるためではなく、聖杯による争いを防ぐために戦うというのですか、あなたは。
Huh? Well, I guess that's what it means. Yeah, that's it. I can't really explain it, but I feel like that's something worth fighting for. Yeah, so honestly, the idea of a Holy Grail doesn't feel real to me. But preventing battles, that I can fight my hardest for and do it with pride.
わからない。シロは魔術師だという。ならば万能である聖杯を欲するはずです。自分では叶えられない望みがあるからこそ、魔術師は魔術を極めるのではないのですか。
I'm not sure what you're saying. I don't have unfulfillable wishes. I do have a lot of things that I have to do, though. Yeah, that's why I need to do everything in my power to keep innocent people out of this battle.
それではシロは聖杯がいらないというのですか。聖杯のためには戦わないと。
That's not what I'm saying. I have every intention of getting the Holy Grail since I'm going to fight.
それこそ矛盾している。あなたには必要がないものを
To
なぜ戦ってまで欲する
protect
というので
people.
す。
Well, because winning means you get the Holy Grail, and most of all, you need it, right? Then we have to get it. Yeah, I don't know what kind of person the other masters are like. Some of them may be really good people, but I decided I'm going to be on your side, and if you say you want the Holy Grail, then I'll give it my all to help you. I'm only echoing my old man's opinion, but if you want to champion justice, you need to be an egoist. It's pointless to support everybody, so you need to ally yourself only with people that you like and trust. I never thought of it that way, but now I think I should. I can't just fight for myself, but what I can do is fight for you, Saber. And to be honest, if it's something this girl wants that seriously, it's only natural to want to obtain it for her no matter what. I mean, don't all guys think that way?
では、私が聖杯を諦めれば戦わないというのですか、あなたは。
I wouldn't want that. But if Saber does that, everything I thought of so far falls apart. No, it doesn't matter. I already said I would fight. That's why I won't run away. I've already decided, Saber. I look at her straight in the eyes as I declare this. Saber doesn't respond immediately. She takes her deep breaths, then looks at me.
わかりました。マスターであるあなたがそう言うのなら、私は従うだけです。私の目的は聖杯であり、あなたの目的が争いの調停であっても。ですが、シロ。
Saber stops abruptly. She seems to look far into the distance.
私にはうまく言えないのですが、それではシロは後悔する。きっと後悔することになる。
So she says. Basically, she's stupid. Since it's, oh my gosh. How is it only noon? No, I can't trust this. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll go a little further, but like, oh my gosh, it's only noon, and I think this day has already lasted at least an hour. Since it's noon already, we missed breakfast. We decided to have lunch for now. Saber can't turn into spirit form like Archer, since unlike the other masters, I'm not providing her magical energy that she needs. Goes without saying that I'm an inexperienced master. Says she can prevent the consumption of magical energy by getting sleep, but she can't replenish it no matter how much she limits herself. Oh, I see. In that case, the only way to replenish her energy is by eating food. Since I'm in charge of the meals, I can't cut corners. Servants are materialized using magical energy, right? So then if your magical energy isn't restored, are you going to get weaker as you fight? After putting away the dishes, I ask while I fold my apron.
全く回復しないというわけではありません。魔力というものは活動しているうちは絶え間なく生成されるものです。自然からの供給がないサーバントでも自身の魔術回路だけで
少なからず魔力を補充することができます。
Oh, then there isn't a
どう
problem.
説明したものか。そうですね。そこの水道を例えにしましょう。今蛇口から水滴がこぼれていますね。それが私自身の魔力生成量だと思ってください。今の状態なら少しずつではありますが、水は私に溜まっていきます。さて、
Now, the
こ
more
のこぼ
water.
れている水ですが、これはグラスが重ければ重いほど蛇口の線が開かれていくのです。私はグラスに水が入っている限り蛇口から水を出し続けます。けれどグラスの水がなくなった時、つまりグラスに溜まった魔力を使い切った時、蛇口はそうなれば水の供給はなくなり、グラスはずっと乾いたままでしょう。それがサーバントにとっての消滅です。肉体を維持できぬほどの傷を負うか、自身を保つほどの魔力を維持できなくなるか。後者の例はそうあり得ることではありませんが。そうですね。ですがこのグラスに溜まった水は常に失われていくのです。水はこうしている間にも使われていますし、戦闘となればその消費量はさらに勢いを増す。逆に言えば強力な行動ほど水を多く消費するのです。私の宝具を使用するのならば、グラスに水が満ちていようと一瞬で空になる危険もある。
This is getting complicated. To sum it up, since I am figuratively Saber's faucet, she can only restore magical energy at a slow pace since I am only providing the equivalent of a drip. So to fill the cup with water, she has to vanquish her enemy swiftly, followed by resting and conserving energy as efficiently as possible. Oh man, so using your noble phantasm is a luxury we can't afford, huh?
そうですね。ですが使えないということはありません。威力を抑えれば一度ぐらいは可能でしょう。
What are you saying? I can't let you do that. You're not allowed to use your noble phantasm, okay? If you died doing that, there's no way I could ever make it up to you. Saber sets her tea down. She frowns and reaches for the tea. Then, we're thankfully interrupted by the phone ringing. Phone call at this time on a Sunday? I have a good idea of who it is, and I'm terrified of what'll happen if I were to ignore the call. Hello, this is Emiya. It's Taiga.
はい、もしもし、藤村です。
Feel dizzy. She's so overpowering. The sound of her voice is enough to pull me back to the everyday reality from before all this nonsense that has happened overnight. What do you want? Just so you know, I'm busy, Fujini.
何よ、私だって暇じゃないわよ。今日も京都でお休み返上して教え子の面倒を見てるんだから。
It's strange. It's like she's right in front of me, puffing with pride. Okay, well, nobody here is being robbed or dying, so you can get back to your chaperoning club activities. Was a clear conscience and all that. Try to cut the conversation short.
ちょっと待った。恥をしのいでお姉ちゃんが電話してるっていうのに、要件も聞かずに切ったら大変なんだから。
Yeah, and I've been neck deep in it for the past 2 nights. Past night. Not that saying so would help any. Though I suppose if she's desperate enough to make a call, she really is in trouble. Okay, so what's up?
私お弁当が食べたいな。シローが作った甘々の卵焼きとかどうなのよ。以上、注文終わり。至急弓道部まで届けられたし、勝ち。
Honestly, what's up with that, teacher? Man, they say that beasts go wild when they're hungry. Put my apron back on. Well, there's leftovers from lunch anyway, and rolled omelets are easy enough to add. Okay, I'm done. Saber, can you watch the house for a bit? I'll be right back, so wait here, okay? Head out to the hallway carrying Fujini's lunch. Saber follows. Put on my shoes. When I look up, Saber is also putting on her shoes without saying a word. Saber? My voice is annoyingly timid. I can already tell what she's going to say, but I have to ask. Well...
外出するのなら同伴します。サーバントはマスターを守るものですから。シロを一人で外を歩かせるなど危険です。
I knew it. Well, this is something we would have run into eventually. This is a good opportunity, so I should tell her now. Saber, masters try to avoid drawing attention, right? Then it's safe during the day. As long as I stay away from secluded areas, they won't attack me.
それは承知しています。ですが万が一ということもある。シロはまだ未熟ですから、四六時中共にいなければならないでしょう。
What? At all times? Does she mean that literally? That's stupid. We can't do that. First of all, what are you gonna do when it's time to sleep?
シロは私を試しているのですか。睡眠中など最も警護すべき対象です。当然、シロのそばで私も待機しますが。
What? I quickly look around to hide my reddening cheeks and try to take a breath to calm myself down. Damn, how stupid of me. It finally sinks in. This is what it means to fight alongside Saber.
シロ、どうしたのです。そこまで驚くことはないでしょう。昨夜リンが行ったことを私がするだけの話ではないですか。
Are you kidding me? I'm going to go crazy before we start fighting if you do that. I can't let that slide. I'll prepare a room for you, so use that. I won't give in even if you look at me with those eyes.
シロ、いい加減にしてほしい。大抵の矛盾は我慢してきましたが、これは譲歩できない。あなたの方針はマスターとして間違いだらけだ。理由を聞かなければ従いません。
Saber looks up at me, frustrated. Her stare makes me want to curl in on myself, but I do my best to fire back. There's no reason. I'll tell you to just do as I say. It's fine during the day, so you should go ahead and rest.
断ります。明確な理由を聞かなければ、私も引き下がれない。
You don't get it, do you? Since you're a girl, there's no way we can sleep in the same room. Saber freezes. Anyway, I'll prepare a room once I get back, so rest until then. Make a break for the door. Am I a kid or what? My face must be red as a tomato. I slap it out as I make my way out. Well, anyway, Saber should be convinced since I told her so firmly, though I should probably apologize for yelling when I get back. Okay. This is the end of the stream. Man, a lot of half days happening here, huh? Way more than I would prefer. But like I said before, like you just never know how long these days are going to be. I'm just like hoping that they start speeding up. Obviously there was a lot of unnecessary conversations in there, but it is also like kind of starting a rapport with well, technically with Rin and with Saber, so it makes enough sense, I suppose. But it makes me wonder, like, how much of that type of stuff is going to happen, you know, 3 days from now in the game, or, you know, 2 days or whatever. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I made some good progress. I knew that first day at the beginning was going to be long. But yeah, I'm not putting into account how many dead ends I'm gonna actually play on stream. I'm gonna assume I'm not gonna do that many, but like, yeah, you never know. It just depends what the choice is, really. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm just trying to think if I'm gonna play this tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna play this tomorrow. We'll see what happens, though. You never know what's gonna happen, I guess. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
Are there a bunch of little girls in this one too? Hello, girls! Ah! Oh no! Ah!